Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Leon, Kev Horn may jump on, Dan will probably jump on, and we have another guest jumping on in a while too. Hope you guys are well. Leon, it's good to have you back, my salty friend.
Yeah, good to be back. I've recovered from my belluitis.
From taking that massive L.
Yeah, massive L. And I'm back.
You almost convinced me to change my pick as well.
Let's not talk about his bum ass.
Fair enough. Shall we give this Saturday night PBC card 5 minutes?
Yep, we can get that done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're haters, Kev. We only got 5.
For another Long Island victory?
You know, people are gonna
evidence of Long Island's dominance in this world of sports.
You know, people are gonna demand Joe Smith Jr. versus Shawn Monahan now, though.
Joe Smith beat Shawnee in the Golden Gloves finals. It was like Shawn's fourth amateur fight.
Well, Kev, I don't know why, but your line's very low, Kev. I don't know if your mic's a bit further away or.
Might be the mic.
Perfect now.
Cool.
You were
saying,
saying
I gotta return this shit. Every time I sign on, this shit don't work.
What were you saying? Joe Smith Jr. beat Shawnee in the Golden Gloves final?
Yeah, and Joe was like a kid. He was like 18. Shawn, was a grown man. He was like 24. But Shawn only had like 6 amateur fights or something like that. So,
what's your honest opinion, though, Kev? Like, did anyone like in Long Island see this coming? Like, was he just there? Was he?
No one did.
That's okay, because
I told you guys off story. Not my place to speak on air about it. About like when Bellew sparred Joe Smith when he came here, when he sparred Shawnee and all these guys. I think Danny Jacobs, Marcus Brown, and then I've been in the gym when Shawn and Joe sparred a couple times. They have a little rivalry around here, but like I said, the gym atmosphere here is just really good. Like people, like even if you're not in shape, you'll come in and give a guy work just because they'll do the same for you. So it's not like people have enough money to really be paying sparring partners. So that's really a big thing around here. So yeah. So like the talk was that he is big, he is strong, and he does have power. He's just he's like Shawn. He's a white kid that's not a very good athlete. You know what I mean? So he's not very technical, and he's so no one really gave him a chance. But they said if he catches him, I mean, this is still the guy. Before he fought Stevenson, was the guy everybody was calling from far a bum. He got knocked out by Finley at 54, and then he does steroids, gets up to 175. So, after a couple good showings, it seems like that narrative vanished. But that kind of left like there's still question marks about the guy, So something like this was possible, but it wasn't expected. It was just like, oh, hopefully he can land that one punch to turn the fight around.
It was a good
But if
punch.
he would have got outboxed fucking 10 out of 12 rounds and dominated, it wouldn't have been a shock, I don't think.
You see a rematch? Do you think Fonfara's wanna go straight back in there?
It depends. I mean, because Fonfara's with Heyman straight up, right? And I think, because what's his name? Joe Smith Jr. is with DeGuardia and
Starbucks.
Yeah, Star in that. So I don't know. I do know when he was coming up and he was fighting on Broadway boxing, DeBella, who, that's where a lot of the New York fighters come up. DeBella was always talking about the rematch in the Garden between him and Shawn and stuff like that. So I don't know if DeGuardia is going to want to maybe feed him to another Heyman guy or something like that, or maybe try to capitalize on this win and build on a couple wins. So it really is interesting to see which way they go. Because let's be real, he got hurt, got backed up, and then Fonfara stood straight up in like a clinch type of thing, thinking it was going to be a break or just relaxed on the inside and got caught fucking flush.
I think the latter. I think he just relaxed a bit. He hurt him a bit and just thought, oh, this is easy work.
It's like he was expecting a clean break, like Joe was going to step back without throwing punches. Like, yo, you just hurt this dude, man. He's going to throw punches,
Yeah, and it's like Joe just threw that right hand blind as well, just to throw it, and it just landed on the button.
Yeah,
and
he felt him there, and he just he threw it hard. Basically, if you miss and you throw that hard, you see it in sparring. It's kind of like get the fuck off me, back up, and that's kind of how he threw it. He loaded up and let it go, and he caught it perfect right on the end of the jaw.
I thought Fonfara got a bit greedy because he thought you hurt him.
Yeah,
and
I think he hurt him
stood
too.
Straight up because he thought, oh, I've got him here, and then boom.
And also,
that's quite big, man, though.
common mistake again. He got up too quick. It's like he was shocked and a bit embarrassed that he got dropped, so he got up too quick.
Very, very good point, Cam. You saw like I hate when fighters do that. Like they get knocked down clean, and I guess they're embarrassed, so they talk to the ref like what are you talking about? Like 30,000 everybody on TV just saw you get knocked down. There's no point of hiding it. Take the knockdown. Don't try to talk it off. Take your 6-7 seconds on the ground. Get up, shake yourself off, and that's it.
But exactly, why get up and make yourself just more dizzy?
Yeah, exactly. And why try talking? Why try unless you were really stunned and and you're really knocked out, and that's different. Then you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
But he had no need to get up at that point.
Yeah, get to your knee after 3 or 4 seconds. Sit there for another 3 or 4, and then get up.
And the barrage that Junior put on him afterwards, he was just standing there like bent over, hands up, not really tight. Just try and clinch or.
But it was a good.
I think he was out. I think he was out, Cam.
Yeah,
he dealt with him, didn't he? He really did finish him well.
Yeah,
he landed clean shots.
Yeah, I don't think he had anything left to hold with. He was. I don't think he knew where he was at that point.
Yeah, because I think like Smith just threw a big right hand like the first shot, and he did kind of land on him quite clean, and I think that kind of stunned him again.
I think the lights went out, but he was still standing up, type of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Because even the way he fell and like his head was halfway in the corner, that was a bit comical. But
Cam, it's nice to see someone with the Smith Junior moniker performing well and showing up in a fight rather than just getting embarrassed and punched around the ring.
It shows that all Smiths are not bums.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was in dog shape. You saw him on the scale. He was in sick shape. And when I went to that fight where Marcus Brown was there, what fight was that with Algieri versus what's his name, Spence? I forget the main card already.
Yeah, that was the main fight, wasn't it?
That was the main fight.
Algieri Spence. Yeah. I was with my boy and I saw Joe on the platform, and he was with his trainer and somebody else, his manager, on the platform when we were transferring at Jamaica, because he comes from Suffolk County and we're from Nassau. So I saw him and I looked at him like he must be getting ready to fight soon because he looks fucking lean. Because he was like, I know I was getting fat and big, but still he looked really lean. So he must have been knowing this was coming up and got in shape early so he didn't have to rush through camp type of thing.
Yeah. But the atmosphere in there looked good. I know local Mexican is in the chat. He was there. He's from Chicago. And I like the way Fonfara took his L as well. He was humble about it, gave Smith Jr. props, and it was nice to see a lot of these guys would start making excuses. He didn't make no excuses. So
it might have been a thing where, like I said, Fonfara came into the Stevenson fight basically as the bum. The way people were talking about Joe Smith, that's how they were talking about Fonfara going into the Stevenson fight, and he made the most of it. But still, he was always fighting high level. So I think he kind of still viewed himself as the underdog with no chance, and maybe this is the first fight since then where he's had a different approach.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, and he's at home, so this was his fight to shine, his homecoming, and I think maybe that got to him as well, and you could tell by just not being sharp, like hurting the guy and being kind of nonchalant about it, standing up like took it for granted, kind of like.
This fucks up Stevenson's plans, though, doesn't it? Because now he's gonna have to fight someone real, maybe, or just another bum.
No, not really.
He's just fighting Smith. He's just fighting Smith Jr. now.
Oh.
Well, he's gonna fight Thomas Williams. You should be able, and then he's got whatever next. So, Stevenson, the path of least resistance, whatever that's gonna be.
But he's been shut down. If this War Kovalev thing is definitely signed off, he's completely irrelevant. But that's for another topic.
Yeah, he is.
Didn't Tommy Khan Clancy beat a one-handed Chad Dawson, and then 2 fights later he got Stevenson. So I swear Smith Jr. is gonna get a shot at the title.
Yeah, they really have a lot of places to go with them, and like I was saying about this division, because a lot of the top guys, I was always looking like how Shawn would do against the top guys, and I think our show we all say the same thing. We'd be more concerned about the young guys coming up, the Bivens, the Usyks, the Ukrainians. Those guys seem more dangerous than even like these guys like Stevenson who are at the top that are really very limited, and they just have that one eraser punch, but outside of that, they're pretty small, they're short, and they could get into lulls where they just walk around looking to land a left hand and do nothing. And, Fonfara, everybody liked because he gave fun, exciting fights, but he was still, it wasn't somebody that you really feared. So the top of the division, I don't think it's as dangerous as most people think. It's just Beterbiev and Kovalev, I think, are killers, and everybody else is a level below.
But to be fair to him, he was in another fun fight this time, wasn't he? Even if he got iced, he's always in good fights, that guy.
I don't think, like I said, you said Joe Smith gets another fight. I think From Farah gets another fight, too. I don't think it's back to the scrap heap for him.
No, certainly not.
Kev, Tony Yeo in the chat reminded me that I read it also this week that your boy Aldo Alvarez is next for Stevenson.
Joe Smith, isn't he mandatory for Joe Smith?
Who, Aldo Alvarez?
Wasn't he ranked like 2 in the WBC or some shit? So he might be next for Stevenson?
Yeah, I think he's the next fight for Stevenson.
That could be a very boring fight. 2 muscled up guys throwing no punches.
Is Alvarez southpaw as well, though? Is he orthodox? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've cooled on him big time, but I just know him from words from training camps about like how he throws and stuff like that. And he's got real power. He's really strong, but he's kind of like Pascal. He gets a little sloppy, and he could also go and get gassed out a little early with all those big muscles.
Yep, Leon, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
Kev, did you catch any of the undercard? The smaller dudes, or did you switch off by then, or switch off beforehand?
Yeah, I was watching the card. With what was that? Rau'shee Warren, right?
Yeah, Warren versus Piano rematch.
Piano, yeah.
I just saying to Leon Affair, it's just one of those classic boxing fights. One guy got the output but hasn't got the accuracy. The other guy's got the accuracy but very low output.
Yeah, I thought Piano, the rounds he won way more clear and convincing than the rounds Warren won. Like, you were kind of giving Warren rounds just because he was giving you the impression he was winning, kind of.
I think Warren nodded his head more than he threw punches.
Yeah.
Nah, he didn't get me. Nah, he didn't get me.
Yeah, he was on the AB mode.
His body language is so like AB's as well, just the way he kind of his stance. But I don't know, he pulls back in straight lines so much. I think like some of the British dudes, like I think Jamie McDonald beats him easy.
Oh, Jamie McDonald will get him because he's got long arms.
Yeah,
so
he's not going to get
pulling back. He'll land on him, won't he?
And you notice Warren keeps his like left hand up, like it's cocked ready to throw. But then when he steps back or he moves over to his left, he always drops his arm, like that's helping him move. Like maybe he's trying to move quicker. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like I guess a tick about him, but I guess somebody who's timing that with a right hand, I think drops him.
But he's sloppy though. He's not like super slick, is he?
Nah, he's one of those guys who throws
sloppy,
30 punch combinations on the pads. After every punch, his hands come down, his head's up in the air, and it looks good on YouTube videos, I guess. But it doesn't translate to the fights, obviously, because I didn't see many 30 punch combinations thrown.
McDonald would monster him, Cam. He's so much bigger as well.
And the Scouse African.
Beat the shit out of him, man.
The Scouse African would beat him up, my boy.
Oh, Tete.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd play with,
Nah, Tete would play with him for like 10 rounds and then just knock him out on the 11th.
It's a good win for him, but I had it a draw. I thought it was a close fight.
I thought it was a close fight too. But the first fight, you knew it was going to be this. It wasn't really much clean action, to be honest. I didn't think.
No, it wasn't a great fight, to be honest. But...
Are those two dudes small for the weight? Because they look like another weight division below bantamweight. They didn't look like big guys.
They're quite... No, I know what you mean. Height-wise, no, but like Warren is quite thick set for his size.
Yeah, he's built. He's muscular build too.
Yeah, maybe it's just because...
And he's older. Even though he's a young... He doesn't have many pro fights. He's a pro, quote-unquote, prospect or now a champ, whatever. He did the Olympics twice, so he has a long amateur career. So he's not a kid. Yeah, three times. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in there.
What do you have? 3 Olympics, 0 Olympic wins, or something like that?
Yeah, that's a shame.
Give up on the Olympics.
Turn pro.
After the second go, man.
Get with Al Heyman and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously out of that camp, obviously Easter's the guy that has a chance to be in exciting fights and get knockouts and probably make some money.
And he's looking to pick up that drop belt from Bartholomew as well, because Bartholomew's apparently going up. So I think Easter's got a shot at the IBF title.
Yeah.
So that should be good. But quickly, let's talk about Lubin. I know I messaged you today, Leon, and said let's not talk about him too much and give him the coalition curse. But fuck it, man. I like this kid.
Yeah. Well, remember I brought up Lubin a while ago. I said that's the one guy from Lukey, the people out west that I talked to were like coming up in the amateurs was one guy that they said was just above and beyond everybody skill-wise, that he was that good. And then when he turned pro, like when we saw him a couple times, people commented about him getting hit too much and stuff. And I remember me and Leon were like, well, we like that. That means he's going to try to knock people out and he's not going to be a boring fighter. So we were actually encouraged by that. And this was a fucking sick performance, too. He throws bombs.
Yeah, I mean, the finish was great, but that guy didn't look like a boxer. He looked like just someone who walked around at that weight and they just gave him some gloves. He was no good, man. But he beat the shit out of him.
He's a good journeyman. He's fought a lot of...
Oh, really? I've never seen him before.
Yeah,
I thought he was really
fought a lot of names. If you look at his record, like credible names, and he's gone rounds with you know, not top-level fighters, but like, you know, journey-level type fighters.
Well, he did a number on him. It's just I wasn't impressed with... You want him to be getting a stiffer test soon, don't you? Because he's talking about world titles.
I think this is that first test that gets you up in the rankings in that 15 to 12 ranking range, and then, you know, because you're taking a guy who's like 38-3 or whatever he was, and you get that name on the rankings, and then you move up.
Sorry to be a casual, but what weight is he? Is he 154?
Yeah, the shot.
Yeah, he's 54-pounder.
Oh, I would like him a lot more now.
Because he could take out your boys.
Oh, he might start to ice. He might ice the sisters.
I don't see the sisters fighting him. I see them going up before fighting him. So we'll see.
Yeah, but he's good though. You're right, Cam. It's a good finish.
I just like the way he mixes up head to body, because I remember there was one part he feinted the jab, threw a left hook to the body, and then southpaw right hook to the head. And you don't really see that many young guys going to the body. He's only 20, and his post-fight interview as well, he seems very level-headed, wasn't calling anyone out, wasn't just bragging or nothing, just said, yep, I'm doing well, looking to improve. And obviously those type of comments are quite generic, but I prefer that type of shit than him like just calling out the Charlos, calling out this person, calling out that person. You know, he knows where he is. He knows he's got time to improve. He's only 20.
Let's just hope he gets some good step-up fights then.
Yeah.
Well, he's 2 or 3 fights need to be step-up, don't they?
Yeah. And the Boxing Voice did a bunch of videos. They went down and visited his camp, so he came off very good on those videos too. And he fights like he trains. Like when you see him, he keeps his stance very basic, right? Not really flashy. He doesn't let his legs get too wide. When he drops levels to go to the body, he keeps his hands up. Like he does get hit because he's moving forward. That's going to happen, I believe. Whatever. But I'd rather be hit by a guy moving back than that's moving forward. So, if he's the one moving forward, I guess he's in good shape. And he throws fucking bombs with both hands. Everything he throws looks like it hurts, even the ones that he's not really cranking up on.
I'm going to say something really controversial here, but I prefer Lubin over Spence.
Oh, me too. I said that a year or two ago.
I was a prospect.
Yeah.
I think Lubin's more solid. Like Spence, I enjoy watching him, but he's very sloppy at times. And I've said it before, when he's in the pocket, Spence will throw combinations to the body and his hands will be by his side. Where I watch Lubin, and as soon as he throws, he does remain in the pocket a bit too long, but his hands come up and he's got a guard there. So if someone throws something back, some counter, he's going to block it. And it's basics, but I like seeing people perform the basics well.
Yeah, it's very fundamental stance-wise, but that's good. There's a reason why they're fundamentals. It's because they work. Exactly. They're designed to work,
Exactly. Time-tested.
That Spence is definitely open to straight shots.
Yeah, but even hooks as well. Like someone with a good left hook.
You hook with him, yeah. Yeah, because he does throw a lot of shots to the body, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But I think to Leon's point, we'll learn more as he steps up a little bit, because we saw with Spence, like, we were kind of waiting for him to step up for a while, and even when he did step up, it was with a blown up. It was against a light hitting guy like Algieri, and so you also gotta hold questions until maybe they're not moving him up for a reason. Maybe it's because Heyman don't want Spence knocking out his other top guys, or maybe he doesn't want Spence getting hurt or looking bad. So we don't know what the reason is, but it's got to be a reason. We'll find it out when he gets truly tested versus a big power hitting welterweight. And same thing with Lubin. When he starts stepping up against guys that might be able to stand up to his shots, we'll see what's going to happen.
Just staying on Spence as well. Have you heard, Kev, looking like his next opponent, final eliminator for the IBF, is going to be Leonard Bundu, our friend from Italy. I don't know. Like, why does he need to fight Bundu? Just go straight. No, IBF are bullshit sometimes. I used to really respect the IBF, but they're really gone down in my estimation now.
Yeah, they should make that Spence fight. There's no need for this Bundu fight.
Yeah.
He hasn't earned a title eliminator, has he?
No.
When did he last had a win?
Whose belt is that? That at IBF? Brooke. Yeah.
But Brooke might
Chocolate
be.
brownie.
He might be the man.
I can see Brooke
man
winning
in the division by
winning
then.
the Vargas fight and then saying he's going up to 54 and not fighting Spence.
I see that.
I mean, he has the perfect out, though, because he struggled with weight so much early in his career that most people assumed he'd be at 54 sooner than later.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because you can say, look, I've been at this weight so long, I can't make the weight anymore. I definitely think that's going to happen with Brooke after the Vargas fight. Just go up. But anything else regarding Lubin? Should we move on?
Let's move on.
All right, you guys want to talk any news or stuff that you've seen this week before we kind of preview next week? I know I spoke to you off early on that Kovalev and Ward has been signed for November around my birthday time. I might have to hit Vegas again. You got any thoughts, Leon, Kev?
I just think it's a fantastic. If it's signed, like they're saying it is it definitely done? No, is it done? Are we sure it's done?
I saw a date.
Pretty done, right? Yeah. So if it is definitely happening, it's the best fight that can be made, I think, in boxing at the moment. And I don't go in for, lists and pound for pound shit. Lists are for teenage girls. But this fight is to be the man. Whoever wins this is definitely the man. And that's not a list, because I don't care about who's number 7 in the world. It's about being the man is the best way of describing it. And whoever wins this fight is that person.
It's rarely you see guys at the top level in their prime still doing this. So I'm hyped for this fight. But I'm still like, when is Ward gonna announce his interim fight, or is he just not gonna take the interim fight? I know he's supposed to fight it before July 30th or something like that.
I don't think he needs to have. I don't see the good in him having another fight if it's going to be some low-level guy.
Well, last I heard, it was almost definitely going to be Shabransky or whatever the hell that guy's name was.
Let's be honest. What gets you ready for a Kovalev fight?
I think it's just rounds, to be honest. Going through another camp and getting rounds, staying sharp.
But you've got to be a reasonably good guy to improve your tools enough to be stepping up. I think he's in a good position as he's ever going to be in. I think
But Leon, when you've been inactive, going through a good 6-8 week camp and getting 4 or 5 good weeks of sparring, it's valuable.
Kev, is he not leaving it a bit late though for this July thing?
That's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm still a little. I'm not celebrating this Kovalev fight just yet.
Same here, because first of all, I don't think they should have had these interim fights. Fair enough, they're being made. Yeah. Kovalev's is set in stone. It's happening on a Monday for some reason. With Ward not having one, I could see him just not fighting and then fighting Kovalev in November.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that as well. I'm just saying, I don't know,
Will that be pay-per-view in America? Of
course. They got to pay those two guys, man. And unfortunately, it'll probably only do like 200,000.
Will it sell out Vegas though?
I don't know. If I'm them, I would do it in Oakland, and if Kovalev would want to go there, because neither one of them sell tickets in Vegas. At least in Oakland, you're gonna get you'll get a big crowd.
Kovalev doesn't give a shit about going into someone's backyard.
And that's why I think main events would probably look at it like, hey, there's more money to split if we go to Oakland instead of Vegas, so let's just do it.
And it makes the win even better.
Yeah.
It makes the win better, doesn't it?
I think Kovalev would revel in doing that in his backyard.
Oh, yeah, he's a very dangerous man, but that makes him even more dangerous, I think. He likes fucking shit up, doesn't he? So it's a great fight, but, it is a straight 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. I can't, you have to say it's a 50-50 fight. You might lean one way or the other 10%, but really, I'd say most people say 50-50.
Yeah, you're going to lean, but I don't think you're going to be too confident either way.
You're not laying down big amounts of money, I don't think.
Yeah. You just hope Kovalev's activity and aggressiveness could force it to be a fun fight and we get our money's worth, you know? Because every time we have a big fight, it's a fucking dud, you know? Anytime it's two high-level guys and within each other's realms, it becomes like a dud, you know? So hopefully it just becomes a good fight.
Fingers crossed.
He goes on the attack very quickly, you know. He goes from the defense to attack very well, you know, and...
It's just Cam. I think Cam said every time we talk it up and start telling our casuals and everybody to get hyped for a fight, and they come over and it ends up being a shit fight.
and they prefer the AJ fight.
All your friends leave your house a mess.
And they're saying I'm never watching boxing again.
Exactly. All right, let's take a call from some Arab bum. Chemo.
Yeah, what y'all want to know?
Chemo, are people confused? Is it Friday today?
Friday? No. I'm broadcasting live from New York City, homies. In Manhattan.
Tell the people why you were live from New York.
Because I'm going to a very shitty fight on Saturday. I decided to go to New York City, man. I had the opportunity to do so. Meeting a lot of people, and I must say, I've been here 2 days, and it's already way exceeding my expectations. It's been fucking awesome. Shout out to Castle Hill Gill, who's been taking me around. We visited Ness as well. Thank you for the hospitality. It's been awesome, but it's gonna get chaotic later on this week, man. When Jose lands, when my boy Lim comes.
So that means you got to come to Long Beach and spend a relaxing day on the beach tomorrow before the excitement of Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, Kev.
Get on the train with the last stop.
Is it for you? It's the last stop.
Last stop south, kid. Right on the water.
You can't fuck up that journey, innit? You just got to stay on until the last stop.
Awesome, man. I'm so excited to meet you as well, Kev, man. It's gonna be a beautiful week, guys. How are you doing? All well?
We're all good, Chemo. Talking boxing, anything you want to talk about that you've seen this week? Obviously, we will probably get to Thurman and Porter in a while, but anything else you want to talk about?
Not really, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not really bothered with the boxing at the moment. It's more about the people that I'm meeting. I'm pretty excited about the fight, actually, but I just don't have a lot of faith in Porter being an entertainer in the ring. So I hope that stylistically it plans out well. But yeah, I
agree. I think stylistically Porter's a nightmare for entertaining fights. Like the time to make the fight was right after the Paulie fight when he just bludgeoned in Paulie and like he still had hope for it. But since then it's been a bunch of crowding, hugging, and mauling and yeah.
But yeah, Cam, just take the wheel, man. I mean, I guess we're going to start previewing the fights, right? Or are you guys still not done discussing what happened last week?
Yeah, we're kind of done, but I just got a few questions for you. Are you disappointed that Cuellar and Mares is no longer on the card, or was it not really a fight you were interested in?
I was interested in the fight, but purely from the perspective that I'm going to see it live. And Mares, is a pretty good fighter, but I'm not really... Like, Mares for me isn't really relevant at the moment anymore. Like, he's still in decent fights, but he's not a guy I'm getting up to be excited about. So, yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that it got canceled. Obviously, I'm not going to see it, but Mares is not a guy that, gets me excited anymore. He just seems to be going through the motions for me. He's not the same guy that he used to be, and even the Santa Cruz fight, I wasn't really into it. Like, I don't know. There's just something missing about the guy. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but he doesn't have that same fire like he used to, man. Like, I always used to bet against the fucking guy, and he always came out on top. He was relentless. But now, I think that soul is it's just gone.
Still with Johnny Gonzalez?
I think so, man. I mean, people give guys a lot of shit about not taking up rematches that they lost to. I mean, people bother Khan for years about the Prescott knockout, and I wanted to see that fucking rematch. This one, I'm talking about Mares against Gonzalez, man. I really, really wanted to see that, and it never happened. And I'm just, as a prideful Mexican, I would think that he at least would go back and correct that mistake, but he didn't.
And then Gary Russell Jr. took Gonzalez's soul, so everyone's souls get snatched.
And the thing is, man, Gonzalez was never really, he wasn't really that good, but the knockout was fucking beautiful, and I think it was a viable option even for Mares to take a rematch and just set it right, but I don't know. And anyway, to answer your question, I'm not really sad about it. So what else you got?
The other thing is, last week we were having some heated discussion regarding Lomachenko. I think we need to dive in a bit deeper and get to the nooks of the issues, man. What's your issue with Lomachenko, Kimo?
It's funny, actually, because I totally forgot about this, because last week I was stressed at work as well, and you guys started fucking sucking this guy off on air. I just got angry, Like, I was sitting at the office just getting fucking agitated, like, what is going on? Look, for me, I've always said this, and I've been consistent, yeah? Unless he corrects the shit that he did against Salido, one, I'm not really going to give him credit, and two, like, dude, he fucking beat a guy, and I've said this many times, he beat a guy that lost to Ricky Burns. Now, Ricky's my boy, yeah? But how fucking
this is
good
how you treat your boy, is it?
Yeah, but come on, man, dude, it's fucking Roman Martinez. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, but
you guys are fucking getting, it's just...
No, but let's be fair, he fully fucking iced him.
Yeah, it's not like he beat him on points, he demolished him.
He fucking iced him.
I don't give a shit whether he did or not. What does that mean? The guy is fucking beat up, man. He blocks punches with his fucking face for a living. Yeah, he's old career-wise. He should have taken him out. You wouldn't have. You shouldn't have settled for anything less. At the end of the day, I look at Lomachenko, all right, on his professional record. I don't give a fuck about amateur records, but I really do not care. I don't care how many medals he's got. Yeah, I look at his fucking record. The only high-level guy that he's fought, he lost to.
Yeah, but listen, Kimo.
So Salido's better than Russell Jr. So I think Russell Jr. I'm not a big fan, but that's what you think.
I agree. Yeah.
You think he is? Yeah.
I think he is. I look at his fucking resume. Look at his accomplishments. Look who he's fought. Just you want a box record? Look at the names. Look at the names that Salido has fought. Look at what Russell has done. What the fuck has Gary Russell done? Apart from shitting the bed in his biggest fight. What's he done?
Kimo, do you not watch...
he knocked out the ghost of Johnny Gonzalez, didn't he, I guess?
Go ahead, Cam.
Do you not watch boxing for exciting fights? Like, was Salido Lomachenko not a decent fight? It doesn't really matter who wins and loses as long as we get a good boxing.
Yeah, but my point is, everybody... Look, I don't have nothing against Lomachenko. In fact, I commend him that he goes for title shots so early on. It's not my issue. My issue is everybody is fucking calling this guy like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's not yet.
No. But let's be honest. That was some people we weren't saying that. If we're going back to our argument, we weren't saying that.
Nah, Leon, come on.
You're trying to.
I listened to that.
You were trying to accuse us of putting you in a pound for pound list and stuff. We don't do pound for pound lists. That's for other people. We weren't saying that. That was that was all other people. We were just saying it was a good win.
Look,
let's be fair.
I know. It's nice to get excited about somebody. I love that, right? That's why I love boxing. You
Actually,
see a guy.
Stay off it. You're cursing. We're better off without you, man. We're better off without you.
Well, I don't know. Something just doesn't draw me to the guy. But for me, it's nice to get excited about it. But you guys were acting like he just accomplished something, and he really didn't. He didn't. I mean, okay, now that I remember it, you were fucking calling him a 2-time world champion, Leon. That fucking pissed me off, yeah?
I was just fucking around. I know.
No, you're not. I can hear it in your voice, man. You love Lomachenko.
I don't love him. It's just you annoyed me. Your reaction to them annoyed me. That I thought you'd have been really harsh on them.
Kimo, were you not at all impressed with the way he he finished off Martinez.
It was a nice knockout, but it doesn't mean much to me.
Do you enjoy watching Lomachenko fight? Like, I know he's fought a few bums after like the Gary Russell fight, but like when you watch him, do you not think, "Wow, this guy looks so comfortable. He moves so well," or does he not interest you at all?
No, I do. I enjoy watching him fight, but again, it's against who you do it. I mean, look at Amir Imam. I'll give you another example. Right? Look at Amir Imam. The guy was, everybody was talking about him, including me. It was like, oh, this guy looks fucking amazing. Look at him. He's slick, yada, yada. As soon as he came up against somebody who started punching him in the fucking face, look what happened. He folded. The same with Lomachenko. As soon as it was his second fight, right? So it's kind of a weird thing to say. But as soon as he fought somebody who didn't respect him that much and came to fight, look what happened. I don't believe in looking like a god, against lesser opposition. Anybody that's put on a fucking pair of gloves and then goes against somebody who stepped in the first day in the ring is going to look like fucking Mayweather, That's just the name of the game. You have to fight certain level of opposition that shows how good you are. He passes the eye test. I agree with that. But it depends. It depends on who you fight. I mean, there's just no way around it. And I think that the treatment that Lomachenko is getting at the moment is a little bit out of control.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Last question before we move off Lomachenko, Kimo. What would it take for you to jump on the Lomachenko bandwagon, even though we don't want you on because you're the curse of the coalition?
I don't need to jump on his bandwagon. I think he's a good fighter. I think in the professionals, he still has a lot to prove. If he beats an elite guy, I'll give him his props. And I just don't want to hear about bullshit titles that don't really mean anything to me. If he goes back and does the revenge against Salido, then I'll be happy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit worried about it because I really, really think Salido. I mean, the guy is just a fucking zombie. He keeps coming back from the dead. You think he's totally done and shot, and then he goes to war for 12 rounds and looks like a fucking, train almost. Like he's got an engine like crazy. So I don't know. It's weird. I can't really track Salido. But if he goes for the rematch and he takes his ass out, I'll bow down and I'll be like, okay, you did your thing. Now continue to be great. Don't fight fucking bums like you were doing over the last year. Continue to do your thing and fight big names. Then I'll be happy.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on, Kimo. I want to talk about
Felix Verjadio.
No, I don't really. I just wanted to play that because I know it cracks you up.
I fucking love that shit, man.
We can talk about
Costa Tszyu.
Bring
That's
back
the best one.
Yeah.
Costa Tszyu.
But yeah, I guess we should preview then, Kimo, the fight that you're in New York City for. Let's talk about Porter versus Thurman. I said it a few weeks ago, but the hype has left me a long time ago. I'm looking forward to this week. I'll probably get hyped on Friday, Saturday, but at the moment I can't really pick a winner. I'm favouring slightly Thurman, but I'm kind of 50-50 almost.
And what are you basing that on?
Thank you, Kimo.
I just think that Thurman will struggle with the pace that Porter's going to set, and I think Porter's just definitely going to try and go for the body, because Thurman's been moving a lot in his last few fights, and I think he needs to wear him down. Also, Thurman was hurt to the body with that shot from Collazo as well, so I definitely think that the Porter's game plan consists of a lot of body work, but I don't know whether Thurman's going to have the power to take him out. I don't think he will. I think this is going to go 12 rounds, but which way, I'm not 100% sure yet.
It's a really, really interesting clash of styles, like we said. I'm right off the bat, I'll say that I'm picking Thurman. I don't think it's a solid pick, though. I mean, this can go either way. I'm just a little bit skeptical still about Porter's offensive ability and
his entire skill set.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point, Leon.
I'm about to tear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what the thing is? Like, I've seen glimpses of him where he does show a little bit of ring IQ. I saw him box a little bit here and there against Broner. But then on other moments, I just see him rush in like a fucking football player head first, and he smothers his own punches. And people keep talking about going to the body, but I've never seen a sustained body attack and a damaging body attack from Porter. I haven't really seen that, man, because he doesn't allow himself...
Not recently.
No. Yeah. And he doesn't allow himself to get those shots off on the inside. I think it's a big flaw in his system, and one thing is, it's going to make the fight boring. But the other thing is, he's not scoring. He's not properly scoring. A lot of times he wins fights just because he's the one coming forward, and it becomes a wrestling match. And the judge be like, okay, not much has happened, but we'll give it to the guy that's being aggressive. But
I just think, I'll say, is there anyone worse in boxing at the moment for smothering their own work? Who's as bad as he is for smothering his own work?
If you're taking it in combination with actually the talent level that he probably has,
in talent level, supposedly.
There's no competition. The guy probably has a ton of athletic ability, but he's not using it correctly. And I'm fucking pissed about the fact that the Porters don't really acknowledge that in public. And I think I've seen the question being popped a few times in the media, and they always ignore it, and it just doesn't...
avoid it because they haven't improved anything since that Paulie fight.
But
nothing.
Guys, but now we have the Porter High Performance Center where his dad can film him and tell him to throw the right hand properly and draw a little line with his mouse. That's like very creepy, man. His dad's a creep.
Oh, his dad's a full creep, man. Full creep.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Showtime, I have all access 4-part digital series. It's on their Showtime Sports YouTube page. There's 3 episodes been released already. It's only like 5 to 7 minutes each, but go watch it, man. It's quite funny. His dad's a creep, man.
Yeah. The thing is, Cam, like, people also talk about Thurman's movement in a negative sense always, right? Like, oh, he's moving too much backward. He's just moving excessively. He's not getting his own shots off, and he's giving the momentum away of the fight. But I have a feeling it might actually trouble Porter a little bit, because Keith moves quite.
Agree. Completely
agree. I think Keith moves quite well, and he might not always have to be schooling him on the back foot, but I think it will create some opportunities where he's going to catch him.
I think if he stands his ground, lets Porter come to him, half step back on him, he'll be able to land clean on him. As long as he's willing to stand his ground to get Porter to engage, he steps back because Porter doesn't look where he's going, and you can land on him. That Brook fight was very, very poor, but Brook hurt him badly in the end of the 3rd round, doing exactly the same thing, but it just happened right at the end of the round, and then Brook hugged it out. But I think it's definitely something you can do to Porter.
I definitely think it's a possibility, and the thing with Thurman, like, okay, he shouldn't necessarily rely on his power for the entire fight, but he's got 12 rounds, to find a good opening, and I think he's gonna find it, and people have been talking about that sparring session that was online, and you see the openings for the uppercut. I think it's there, man. I think Thurman knows that. He's been talking about it. I think he's got the right strategy. I think if he's mentally set on the night and he executes it, he should seal the deal.
Look, I've got to say a couple of things on this fight. I'm sick to death of hearing people going, "Oh, it's overcooked. I don't care." But then at the same time as them saying, "Oh, it's a close 50-50 fight. I'm not sure who's going to win." It's like, can we fucking win? What is wrong with us, boxing fans? Sometimes. And then I think Porter's being hugely overrated. I think people have forgotten about him because he hasn't been in the ring so long. I think the idea that this is a 50-50 fight, I just don't see it. What has Porter done since Paulie to impress anyone?
That's fair, but the same can be said about Thurman. What has Thurman really done in the last couple of fights?
But absolutely. So then you got to think about skill levels, and Thurman is a much better boxer.
That's fair.
I personally feel Porter's hugely overrated. If we've been talking about it. smothers his own work, rushes in, doesn't seem to have improved at all over the last 18 months. I'm shocked by the number of people picking him.
Let me get
the things
Kev's
he
opinion.
does good is getting good condition. He's always in shape. He does everything right. He's a professional like that. But to be working so hard in camp and getting in such good shape, you would think he would actually develop some of his deficiencies, and he just doesn't. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
So, Kev, are you favouring Thurman as well?
It could look like the Kell Brook fight all over again.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Like, if Thurman has that skill set. He's not as big as Brook, but there's no reason why he shouldn't look at that fight and be like, I could just do the same thing and win 12 rounds. And if I hurt him, I could get him out.
He's big enough to handle Porter, I think.
No,
yeah, because Porter's very short, and he's been doing a lot of like this conditioning lately. He's not as thick as he used to be 3-4 years ago. He's not that big anymore. Well, it wasn't that hard for him to make that catch weight versus Broner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he did cut some muscle when he fought Broner, so he's not
and even before then, he was a lot leaner than you would think.
I disagree, though. I don't think Thurman could do a Brook and, kind of physically keep Porter off him. Like, Thurman's got quite a thin frame on. You look at him, he's quite spindly, man. I don't think he could do a Brook.
Yeah, and he's definitely not looked comfortable, even when guys like fucking Collazo and Guerrero actually muscled up on him. Like, he did not look comfortable. He did not look like he wanted to be there.
I just think, I'm not saying that Thurman is a goods, and this is the fight for him to prove it. I just feel that people have overrated Porter as this fight has gone on because it's taken so long to come to the ring. I think people have, like, their memories have faded and they've forgotten who we're talking about here. This is a guy who beat Broner. It was his last good win, but was that a good fight? Was that a great performance? No. Did he get hurt and put down? Yes. I mean, I think there's a lot in Keith's favour.
I think people were a lot higher on him around the Devin Alexander fight, Leon. I mean, that was an impressive performance.
Oh yeah, I give him credit for both those fights and the Paulie. But I'm talking about in the last 18 months. We can only judge him on what he's done in the last 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked particularly good against Broner either. Actually, that was another ugly ass fight, and getting dropped like that in the 12th round. I don't know, man. I kind of get the feeling it's something similar is going to happen, but earlier.
But let's be real. They do a good job of going on these, like the Boxing Voice, giving other places, Fight Hype, all this access. So they keep on people's tongue, and that's why I think he gets overrated a bit, because just the access and that he's always there. And for better or worse, people have an opinion on his father, so that keeps him in people's mouth as well. So the more you're talked about, the more you kind of get looked at as a star or a big time fighter just because you're always around.
I mean, I think Porter's dad talks in hyperbole and like rambling nonsense, and some people think he's intelligent. I just think the man's a moron. But some people fucking fall for this. He's like he's reading a self-help book. I mean, if that was my dad, I'd be get the fuck away from me, man.
But that's different. He's not your dad. For a guy like Shawn, I think it works because he's doing all the stuff that Shawn doesn't feel comfortable doing, and the stuff that's needed in the game. And before people really start shitting on this guy, like, he raised his son to become a world champion. He's done everything this way. He's been smart about it. You could tell this guy isn't going to be one of these guys who's 35 or 40 with no money and in jail and doing rip-offs.
Definitely.
So he's doing it the right way. But at this point, like you say, Leon, when you get to this level, you might want to be a little more humble and maybe bring in somebody else to help you. Like, hey, I've got my guy this far, but I could only take him this far. I might need somebody else to help. I'm still the man in camp. I'm the manager. I run camp, but I got to step back some of the things off to some technical skills to another type of trainer or something like that.
Oh, I'll say this then, Kev. I'll take that back. He's a boxing moron, not a life moron. He's a boxing moron.
Yeah, he can make sure his son's in shape. He can make sure he does the work. He can make sure he does that. But he's definitely not correcting his
flaws,
spacing issues. His
I think Kev, you actually make a good point, because the only thing that that Kenny Porter has proven is that he knows how to get his guy in shape. Because I remember at the time of the AB fight, I was so skeptical that he was going to look good at the weight, and he fucking did it. I mean, no questions asked. You know, he He performed, he won, he made the weight, and everybody was doubting it. And, you got to give Kenny that credit. But if he comes in again like a fucking bull head first against Thurman, you got to acknowledge at one point, like you say, that there's just a gap in skill that's missing. And the guy has potential to be really, really good, but if he just keeps fighting like this, it's never going to happen for him. But let's not forget, I mean, Kenny Porter's ego is bigger than anybody's in boxing, probably. So I don't think that will ever happen.
I think Lim wants to say something.
I think the Cavaliers have finally brought a championship to that city of Cleveland for a 52-year drought, and I think it's only fair that we all admit that Shawn Porter is going to do the same thing, because what's really the difference between LeBron James and Shawn Porter? What, a foot in height? I think they're both
100 pounds.
I think they're both equally. I think they're number 1 and 2 in terms of the two best athletes in the world.
Popularity in the country.
Popularity and in terms of just fuckability and everything. I think Shawn Porter is the man.
What the fuck?
I think Shawn Porter.
Stop him.
I don't know. Porter's definitely got him in the yogi world. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
walking around in tights in hot yoga, he definitely got him in that one.
And for the very first time in my life, I've seen Shawn Porter with another girl in that Showtime All Access, that 3rd episode. I've never seen Shawn with a girl, so I'm happy for him. So he's obviously making moves in his life, and that's why I think he's going to be victorious on Saturday.
I could totally see Kenny getting after him like Mick in The Rock. Women weaken legs, Rock.
Yeah, I think Kenny just allowed him to start dating. He thought it was time.
Yeah, I read some of the YouTube comments on that video, and they were savage. They were saying that, oh my God, Kenny's finally, Shawn's actually got some pussy that Kenny hasn't attacked first. Yeah, I'm happy for Shawn, man, but honestly, he's, I think there is a discrepancy.
Who are you really picking?
Too. No, I'm picking Keith Thurman. I think Keith is the better fighter. However, I am a little bit concerned about his neck injury, because I've read some reports stating that he had to alter his training camp because of that injury. And at first, I was giving Keith a lot of shit for that injury because I really didn't believe it. But the way he's really kind of gone into further depths in terms of what he had to do to his camp afterwards, it makes me concerned, actually, because, I mean, who knows if that neck healed properly. And,
he needs to cut the shit is what he needs to do.
Cut the hair. That must be weighing him down a bit.
He's so fucking annoying.
Exactly. He's
that dumb guy who smokes weed and starts acting like he's a philosopher, man. Like,
whoa. Don't blame the weed. The weed's done nothing to you.
No, I'm talking, but everybody has that one friend that's in the cypher who all of a sudden starts being, why the fuck is the sky blue? You ever think about that? No, you just stupid.
I am that guy.
That's all.
I'm that guy too, Leon.
I'm totally that guy.
That is annoying. Yeah, no, I agree, Kev, because that shit was cute for a little bit, for a while, when we all believed that he would fight anybody and he would fight all comers. But to me, Keith is just as much of a businessman as anyone else. You know, the way he talked about about Errol Spence just really threw me off in terms of all of his shit talking, because I don't really believe him, man. And he's been inactive for 11 months, and I've gotten kind of worn out by both of these guys. So.
And he's the type who lives a low lifestyle, so he doesn't need that big money. He gets a couple $1 million checks. You could totally see him being comfortable and just retiring and being a beach bum.
I don't get this being worn out by it. I mean, how does it affect our lives day to day? It doesn't matter. It's just happened a bit later. I don't see the big deal with it being delayed. I don't know.
No, he's just saying that Thurman's not a guy who'll take on all comers. Like, there's no saying that after this fight, he's going to fight anybody worthy. Next.
I guess the timing is just off for me, Leon, and you're right that you actually bring up a good point. I guess I should have further clarified that statement by adding to the previous opponents that Thurman's fought and the lack of the wowness factor in terms of his previous performances. Because I used to be so high on Thurman, and there was one point where I put Thurman and Triple G not neck and neck, but I put them kind of in the same category as guys that I thought were going to take over the game, and that clearly hasn't happened.
Yep.
So, anyways, Chemo, how are you doing?
Yo, Lim, I was walking today down the street, and every time I see this, like an athletic Korean guy jogging, I thought, oh, wait, it's Daniel. And then, no, gotta wait.
How many of those have you seen total? 1? Maybe 2?
Maybe 3.
I bet there's probably 5 in the entire region of Manhattan, but I'll make that 4 when I get there tomorrow.
You go to Queens, though, you see some jack dudes walking around, Korean dudes.
Yeah, Yeah, probably. But a lot of stiffness, yeah. They don't have the fluidity that I have, yeah. I've been working on my movement, on my torsos.
Yeah, what time are you coming in tomorrow?
At 8:05 p.m. So.
Speaking of movement, somebody posted a video on Twitter for you, Lim, with Bivol doing shadow boxing and box jumps in Greece.
I know that was some pretty whack shit, but oh well, he looked good doing it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, what else have you? I know I heard a little bit of the Ward Kovalev talk, right? You guys were discussing about half an hour ago.
Yeah, we're just saying it's such a good fight, and that it actually means something.
But Leon, can I ask you then? Whoever wins that fight, can you really give that individual credit, considering the fact that he hasn't fought the top dog in that weight division in Adonis Stevenson?
And Adonis Stevenson is irrelevant. He can stick his ring. Shit. He can stick that ring title right up his fucking ass. I couldn't give a fuck. He has discredited and discolored that title.
I'm fucking around. I'm totally fucking around.
Yeah, no, good. I enjoy saying that shit. So
No, I know.
So Matt Way and I'll knock him around.
Good stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for that fight.
Who's next? Samuel Peters swag. Fucking Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't. Did you guys talk about Abner Mares pulling out of his fight?
Yeah, we did touch upon it, but I just wanted to mention as well that the saying it's an eye injury, and I know he had that detached retina in 2008, so I hope it's not a recurrence of that, because then you might have to possibly retire, because I know they were questioning retirement when that happened initially in 2008. So what's your thoughts on it, Liam?
I think it's the best thing that could have happened for Abner and his family, because Abner was going to get knocked the fuck out in that fight. Because I've said it so many times before, he has absolutely no business fighting at 126 pounds. Cuellar he's not the best fighter. He's an average fighter. He's a wild clubber, but he can crack. And Abner's been fighting like such a bum his past 2-3 fights, ever since that Gonzalez knockout, that he was going to get clipped with something huge against Cuellar, and he was going to get his life shut out. So I'm happy for him that this fight isn't taking place, because it would have ended very poorly for him. So, you know what? I wanted the fight to happen, honestly, just because it would have been entertaining from my perspective and from Kimo's perspective, but it would have ended poorly for Abner, and I envisioned him getting sparked out in the later rounds in that fight. So, yeah, he's just in a no man's land, man. I hope he made a lot of money in the fight game, but he really is in a no-win situation moving forward. He's too small for the weight class that he's fighting at right now, and he's not good enough to outbox those guys. So I don't know really what you do from his shoes, because man, that Santa Cruz performance was awful. It was so bad that it was worse than the Johnny Gonzalez knockout, because that knockout it could have been a lot of things that happened that night. Maybe he just wasn't in his right mindset, but that Santa Cruz fight just showed his regression as a fighter and just his inability to outbox a pretty average level fighter. So yeah, I feel bad for Abner, but I'm glad that he's not going to have to go through that punishment on Saturday.
And just quickly regarding Kovalev and Ward, like we talked about earlier, Ward's opponent is not mentioned yet. He's running a bit late now to kind of get a fight out there. Do you think he'll just not fight and then fight Kovalev in November?
Yeah, I think so, because Ward is a guy who likes to take pretty long breaks, so I don't envision him taking a fight in late July and then just getting right back in the ring against a killer like Kovalev in November. And obviously with that eye injury that Ward sustained in his last fight, I don't think that's something you want to risk. So yeah, I think they're just going to go straight into it, which is pretty remarkable. I know Kimo is Andre Ward's biggest nut hugger, but I got to give him credit too, because the fact that he's stepping up to fight Kovalev is pretty magnificent, because like nobody does that anymore in the fight game. So I'm really excited for that fight.
Nothing would make me more happy than just seeing that bum get knocked the fuck out by Kovalev. It would be beautiful.
We also got to give HBO credit for it, because when Ward was coming back, he wanted to sign that 3-fight deal. He had that fight on BET, and they were like, we'll give you the money, but one of the fights has either got to be Triple G or Kovalev. So they kind of forced that hand, So yeah. You got to give, even though HBO has been fucking us up, giving us damn near no fights, like at least they came through on that.
Yeah, good point. Great point, man. So yeah, it should be pretty fun, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the Thurman Porter fight this Saturday. I want Porter to win, but like you guys mentioned so many times, he fights like such a bum.
Lim, why do you want Porter to win?
Because I've known Shawn for quite a while. I mean, he made his name at the Wildcard gym, and he's a good dude, man. Shawn's a good kid. I know his dad acts like a dumbass, and he's braggadocious. But Shawn
we need to party with him afterwards, man.
Yeah, maybe we can have him drink some Kool-Aid. Like sugar-free, no alcohol. Like that's probably a wild night for Shawn Porter. So. But I'm excited to meet Kid Chocolate. No, I'm just excited to meet Kid Chocolate, Chemo, at the TBV Appreciation Night. Like, that's one of the living legends. Like I have so many questions that I want to ask Kid Chocolate, just how he was able to go from, a vagabond in the streets to a world champion. Like, that is what inspires me every day. That's what drives me to become a champion in my own perspective. Like, I just want to live life to the fullest, and he helps me do that. He helps me live by animal status. So,
Lim, I don't know if you can pull this shit off in real life, but over the Skype, like, you always manage to troll fucking hardcore, but still sound incredibly serious. So I don't know if you can keep a straight face and actually do that shit with Kid Chocolate in person, but oh my god.
Honestly though, I am looking forward to the event itself. Like, I actually do, like, having that picture that you took with Ness got me jealous. Like, I want to meet Ness. I want to meet all those guys. I want to meet Jameson. James is cool as fuck, and all those other guys. So I'm excited about that. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I really don't give a shit about meeting Kid Chocolate nor Robert Garcia. But those other guys I do want to meet. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, just keep me away from Kid Chocolate, man. If I had a couple of drinks, because I don't know.
I mean, in all seriousness, though, I mean, he's still. I know this sounds so cheesy, but the dude is a fighter, and I do respect everyone who gets in that ring. But
you respect box?
I respect box, but I just don't like the way he's managed his career recently, obviously. So, but who gives a shit, man? Right? At the end of the day, if you have a couple of drinks and you who cares if you're talking to Al Heyman or fucking Beeb? They're both the same to me.
All right, let's just move on. Quickly mention the Predictions League. We have Hands of Stone in first position, El Terrible in second, James McMahon in third, Sully Boxing fourth, Nam 82 in fifth, Barcelos in sixth, the Champ Cesar in seventh, Claude Bottom in eighth, Moen 10 in ninth, and Inverness Mark in 10th. Myself, Inverness Mark, and I think it was BRD Hay were the only people that picked Rau'shee Warren split /MD in the Prediction League this week, so props to us three. Quickly, the people in the chat, we've got Tony Yeo, PM versus Nothing for Something, Tico, Shams 1000, Larry Magoo, Danny Champion, Court Music, Wasif 1, J Swee the A-Side, African Shah, Black Ski Mask Joe, Local Mexican, Marky Mac TMT, Mr. Dermo, Low Country, Nesmatic, and it says 75 guests. That's quite shocking, man. I think they must have heard Chemo come on. I wanted to hear his tones. Alright guys, what's next? Shall we discuss
I was like,
what? his Arab tones. Shall we talk about the UK pay-per-view? Joshua Brazil and all the rest of the bummy fights on that pay-per-view?
It's a big one, isn't it, Cam?
You know what?
This is for all the marbles.
All the fights, I have no interest in. Seriously.
What?
What fight on that card is good?
Groves against Murray is a decent fight.
It's an okay fight, but they're both just losers, man. It's like it's the battle of the losers.
Exactly. It's like watching, like, you know how everyone has a fucked up uncle in their family? It's as if you had two of them, and they were just both fighting each other.
Damn, I am that fucked up uncle.
I'm sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to throw any shade at you. Way,
Damn, I'm in the losers division with Grove. Fucking hairlines staying together.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any excitement watching that fight. I would just have a lot of pity and empathy for their families. I would just feel bad. Just get it over with, guys. Just move on. But yeah, I'd pick Groves though. I mean, who are you guys picking in that fight?
I'm definitely going with Groves, man. I think Martinez is just Martinez. I think Murray is just. I was like, what? Sorry, that's a jet lag talking. I think Murray is just a level below him, and he looked small when they were facing off at the presser, man. I don't know. Did you guys see that? Murray looked tiny.
Yeah, Murray's. I think his size is overrated.
Yeah, maybe because he was fighting like fucking guys that were blown up. Yeah, not true. Exactly. 160 pounders, man. And when he was making shockwaves, that is, he wasn't fighting massive guys. But I mean, just looking at the fucking size of Groves next to him, man, I think this might be a KO. Actually, I mean, I don't know, but it should be a decent fight while it lasts. But I don't know, Cam. Are you actually paying it? Who's buying for this shit? Who's paying for this shit?
No, I'm not paying for it.
I know you're weak.
I might not even watch it live because it's my wedding anniversary, so I have to spend time with wifey, so I have to catch it on the Sunday. But
I'm not watching this live.
Chemo, did you
Yes,
see...
you are. You fucking liar.
I'm not. I'm away this weekend.
Yeah, you'll find a way.
I'm happy to be away this weekend.
Chemo,
I heard Joe Morgan has ringside seats to the event. Is that true?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, that's what he told me.
Did you see this gloves is off, like this face off that Sky do?
Of course I did, Cam. Why would you even ask me that?
You need to shit on your former boy there, man. Why does he keep mentioning Paddy? Like, get over it now. Like, if you weren't happy with his performance as a trainer, fair enough. But like to repeatedly mention it on every platform that you're on, come on, it's enough now.
It's because he has no confidence. He's using it as an excuse, man. Send me the link, though, Cam. You're slacking off. I didn't get the link.
Oh, shit, man. I'll have to send you the link.
You better send him that fucking link, man.
I don't want Kev to start recording our conversations off screen.
Answer the fucking question.
No, but seriously.
I'm a fictive motherfucker.
But yeah, Kibo,
don't mess with me.
Like, what's going on? Like, your former boy needs to stop this shit.
Yeah, he is my former boy. I mean, I was so high on him back in the day, man. But the thing is, like, I know a lot of boxers are in denial anyway about their losses, but Groves just set himself up to fall so big, you know. Like, I mean, those two fights with Rau'shee. Okay, the first one he came in as a big underdog, and he kind of proved everybody wrong by doing what he did and putting on that performance. But that knockout in Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000 people, that's a game changer, you know. That has to do something to your confidence and just to your overall mindset, man, as a fighter. I don't think he's over it, and I don't think he ever will be. I think he's just suppressing it and translating it into just blaming other people for it, you know, like saying you didn't get the right instructions and then just, you know, concluding that that's the only reason you lost that fucking fight is kind of stupid. So, I mean, let's not forget you got dropped as well, motherfucker. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's just it's not only about instructions. So it is disappointing, Cam, but Groves' ego is kind of out of control these days. And I sometimes watch the old fights with Adam Booth, and I just get sad that Groves is pretty much gone forever. So I'll watch the fight, but it's just not the same guy anymore.
It sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, it was kind of being a bit of a Debbie Downer at the moment, but yeah.
Old Facebook messages, looking at old pictures of us together. I'm pretty sure
I know,
that's
man.
how you feel with Groves.
Dude, sometimes, you know, I reach in my closet, you know, and I trying to find a shirt, and then all of a sudden I get past the Groves shirt, and I just, you know, I just get sad for a moment, and then I just continue on with my day.
You've not thrown it away yet?
Nah, I wanted to burn it in a ritual or something like that, but I figured, fuck it. Paid 20 quid for that, might as well keep it, right?
Yeah, you should just cut the sleeves off and just make it a tank.
It would look good as a tank, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, just make it your arms day workout tee.
Chemo, Kev, any thoughts on Groves and Murray?
Nah.
Yeah, no, not really. I'm going with Groves. I think by stoppage, probably. Late
Classic
stoppage.
loser leaves town match. Whoever loses is done. Career match.
I did like Murray though a bit in the face-off. Like he wasn't having it, you know. I think he said a few couple. Why the fuck are you laughing at him, huh?
No, just because I agree with your sentiments.
No,
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's very riveting.
No, I did enjoy that little. He fired back a little bit, but let's move on, Cam.
Do you think that's gonna translate into the fight, Chemo?
Yes, I do. I do think that translates into the fight.
Like the fact that he's not gonna have any of it, it's gonna translate into him being a better counterpuncher, right?
Yes,
that's what I think.
Yeah. I think those face-offs are very relevant. And
yeah, like you remember when we were discussing the Rau'shee Gross face-offs and how it would impact the fight?
Yes,
I felt the way that Carl Rau'shee was sitting and positioned and the way that he wore his watch, he was going to be the aggressor in that fight, and that's exactly what happened. So
I thought he lost the fight right there when he pushed Groves away as well during the press conference. So
yeah,
I predict these teams. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. If I break down these numbers, yeah.
Yeah, you better move on right now, or this shit's gonna get out of control.
But the thing is, Lorenzo and Dana are already going to be selling the corporation to some Chinese market, and
no.
After that happens, I might have to translate into boxing.
Then we have a show for this.
One serious thing.
We have a show for this called The Mystic Men, which you and Chemo can't be bothered to do. So when you can be bothered to do it, you can discuss it and do those impressions then.
Alrighty.
Let me address that, Cam, because a lot of people have been tweeting Daniel and I about this. I mean,
no, they haven't. No one's been tweeting.
No, they have. That's just. Let back me up here. We had hundreds of people approach us about the return.
They're trying to hijack the show, Cam, with their mystic bollocks.
But we will return. The timing will be right, but we will return.
We will. We shall return.
We'll
do a Mystic Men podcast somewhere, some discreet location in Manhattan with our shirts off while doing movement drills, and then we'll take a couple of minutes off to do a Mystic Men show.
It wouldn't take you long to do the chat room roll call now, would it?
No, everyone's leaving, but let's move on. Just shoot this one to Kev. Kev, your team Urbank. He's fighting Tom Duran.
I think it's Speaker Murray.
I asked you before, and you didn't say anything.
You didn't say my name. You said Chemo twice.
No, I said Kevin. Leon, do you want to say anything?
You did say Kevin Chemo.
Oh, sorry, my bad then. Sorry, go ahead, Leon.
But we all know who's had it on this podcast anyway. I mean, we know.
Poor Leon. Go on.
Fuck you, Chemo.
No, now I got nothing to say.
No. Groves is going to ice Murray in spectacular fashion.
Nah, I disagree. I think that's going to be a boring kind of clinch fest, like 12 rounds. I don't think Murray's going to get stopped.
I think Murray's getting stopped.
I disagree.
I have nothing to back that up, but that's what I'm picking.
You're just picking your London boy.
Let's fucking have this right though. The major issue here is people are having to buy a pay-per-view to watch Murray versus Groves. It's like a Murray-Groves pay-per-view, it feels like. It's how this shit is not being put on as a Sky regular fight, and it's been put on an undercard like this is just why we have to pay, people have to pay to see this fight.
But Leon, Groves versus Murray. I mean, that could headline any card. Did you not see the tweet? Did you not see the tweet I tagged you in?
Any non-pay-per-view card it could headline. And so why isn't it headlining a non-pay-per-view card? Why is it just being stuck on a fucking AJ fucking undercard? We're being punished for this shit.
Because you're getting a bonus for that pay-per-view money, man. You're paying for an already world heavyweight title fight, and just because Hearn loves you, he's throwing that in there as well. So you should thank him.
No, what he's doing, he's spiting the people who actually like boxing by giving us something that could be on Sky, you know, with their tiny budgets on a Saturday evening, and punishing us by putting it on a fucking pay-per-view card. Feels like to me.
I don't know, man. I think Hearn's been on a roll lately. I mean, if you look at that Leeds card as well, I mean, it's just stacked.
Oh, fucking behave yourself.
We need to talk about Warrington in a while.
We'll come to that, fucking duck.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anything else, Leon?
No, I just think it's just a shame that, you know, we're getting stung again. But let's go to Urbank.
Urbank. Tom Duran, British level guy, he's trying to win. Well, sorry, Eubank's trying to win the British belt outright, but we don't need to see fights like this, man. This guy's going to get demolished, and then, we don't want any type of Blackwell injuries, but it won't surprise me if some shit like that happen. And then
he's going to give him a shellacking.
And then the whole boxing gets another bad impression in the press, and it's not really necessary. And on one hand, they're talking about they want Triple G next, and Eddie Hearn's discussing it with Loafer and stuff. But then they're fighting Tom Duran. It's like, come on, you can't do either or. You don't talk about Triple G if you're fighting Tom Duran.
How many times has Tom Duran been down in his last 2 fights? Isn't it like 3 or 4 times? I mean, this guy has done well to win a couple, but if Eubank's serious about ever wanting to fight someone like Triple G, he better fucking demolish this guy in 2 or 3 rounds to show what he's actually about, rather than, But I think he will. I don't think this guy will stand up to him.
Dude, he's gonna fucking kill him, man. I think it's a bad mismatch, man. I don't even know why they make these fights, dude. I mean, I love Eubank, man, but this is, especially after what happened with Blackwell, like, you're gonna put somebody in that position again. I mean, he's just gonna tee off on him, and then the ref will probably jump in early, given what happened last time.
I agree.
It still is a useless fight.
I agree, but the issue is that he wants to win the British belt outright, and I guess Duran's up there in the British ranking, so...
On that level, he can't do anything other than do that, if that's what he wants to actually achieve, but is it getting him anywhere? I like someone to win the British belt outright, but there's not many challenges there for him, unless he could fight Ryder next, but does that do much for him?
I think the Ryder fight...
He needs one more win after this to get the belt.
I think the Ryder fight's okay, but I think he still beats him quite easily.
Yeah, but Cam, I think you're spot on. Like, how can you go from fighting this level guy to talk about Golovkin? It makes no sense, and I think they're just bullshitting. I think Hearn's bullshitting as well. Like, they asked me to make the fight. Like, dude, you're not going to make this fight. How the fuck are you going to go from fighting this mediocre opposition to, like, a top 3 fucking dude in boxing right now? This makes no sense.
They need to be mindful, Kimo.
They do need to be mindful, but it's still like, it's man. I mean, I wish it would happen, but I remember hearing somebody else talk about this the other day, and Eubank, man, if he doesn't get his fundamentals together, he's gonna get fucking sparked by Triple G, man. That hands down cowboy shit that he pulls in the ring, it's very entertaining, but man, if he tries that against,
I would be happy to watch it just to see Eubank land on him and get iced almost in the same moment.
You mean like the Gil fight, where Gil landed and still got knocked out?
But I'd like to see, fuck it. If Triple G's going to stay down there, he can fight him. But don't talk about Triple G. It brings out all the weirdos.
I actually think that if he fought Triple G and lost, he would give Triple G like an exciting fight, and I think like he would win from the loss. Like we say before, like you can have a loss but still win from it.
Shield, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be the type of fight. I think people would give him more props after the fight with Triple G because he's gone in there and try and put on an effort and try and put on a show. But don't talk about him yet if you're fighting Tom Duran. Like win the belt outright. Try and maybe fight Jacobs first because I think Jacobs versus Eubank Jr. is a really good fight. So do that and then look at Triple G.
But let's just go back to this fight. Sorry, I was yawning. Let's go back to this fight. It's shit. The levels apart. But, it's on a stacked card, so what are we complaining about if Carlsberg's on cards?
Yo, Leon, sorry, man, I just have to go off topic a little bit. How good are those tweets that we are constantly retweeting, man? From these fucking casuals. I don't know what happened lately, but this wave of just insanity that is on Twitter lately that is being retweeted by Hearn and Matchroom. It's just gold. I mean, sometimes I think they're all fake accounts and somebody is just trolling, but these are real fucking people.
No, there's too random. The subjects and the angles that they come at the AJ Love is just so mental.
We need to give MVQ some props as well because he did coin the term Lomosexuals for Lomachenko fanboys, and he's also coined a new one for AJ fanboys, which is I forgot what it is, Leon. What was it?
AJ crap.
It was
Josh Strap.
Just Straps, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're an AJ fanboy, you're a Just Strap. You're
But
on his
they're
nuts.
crazy out there. The things they say. I wish I had some to pull up, but it's just.
So comparing him to Muhammad Ali for one.
Oh, that was terrible. They're just AJ fans. They're not boxing fans on any level. So I used to get angry at them, but now I just laugh at them.
Yeah, that you're right, man. When somebody tweeted that AJ would like spark Muhammad Ali, like, what's her fucking deal, dude? Seriously, I saw this chick that was kept on tweeting her, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm so excited, I'm gonna cry, I cannot believe the fight's here. Oh, Anthony Joshua," like she was just flipping out. Like, who the fuck are these people?
There was this one, Eddie Hearn. Congratulations on doing the deals. That means we get to see the best boxing lineup probably ever seen in Britain. That's about this card. The best boxing lineup ever seen in this country. That's someone called Chelsea Roids, but he's a Chelsea fan, so what do we expect?
And he's on roids. There's just a ton of them. I can't find any more, but that's just ongoing madness, weirdos.
It's a beautiful thing. It's providing me with a lot of entertainment.
It's very entertaining.
So I am thankful.
All right, Naoto jumped on the line. Are you there, Naoto?
Yeah, man.
Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. He's ready to be whooped. Yo, you know who's ready to be whooped is Rau'shee Warren.
Yep.
Rau'shee Warren's ready to be whooped.
He's ready to get taken out.
Yeah, man. I think once the WBA ordered that McDonald-Warren fight, it's game over for him. I had him losing to Payano, and I thought he was pretty fortunate to get the decision. I mean, I thought it was a close fight, so I'm not really complaining about him losing to Payano or beating Payano. But just the way he gassed out in the mid to late rounds was really bad. I think somebody with high volume style is gonna be a serious problem for him. I mean, really, just anybody elite. I think Kameda would beat him. I think Zolani Tete, Omar Narvaez would take him out. Moreno, Yamanaka, all them guys. But, I mean, congrats to him because, I mean, it's got to be rough losing in 3 Olympics, spending 12 years of your life trying to get a medal and you don't even get a win. So, finally he has some sort of gold.
He wasn't getting hit, though. He was shaking his head. Naoto, he was like, "No, you didn't hit me.
Yeah.
No, you didn't hit me."
Yeah, of course not, man. I mean, because when you shake your head, that means that's like it erases everything that just happened. If you get punched in the face and then knocked through the ropes and onto the ground, and you shake your head, and the ref's like, "Oh, okay, that was clearly a slip." Reset.
But did you just favor Did you just favor Payano's aggression and his output?
I wouldn't really want to necessarily say I favored it. I mean, I just thought that it was more effective. I thought that he was landing the more effective shots overall. And I thought that a lot of people were giving Warren credit for slipping shots that he didn't slip. I think a lot of guys that'll try to make these slick maneuvers, they'll get credit for missing shots that actually hit them, or that like as though they're making a guy miss when they're even still getting grazed.
Yeah,
not
he's
only
not
that,
slick.
but also
he's not slick.
Well, the thing is, he is when he's throwing punches. When he's throwing punches, he actually moves really well. It's almost like if he's not throwing his hands, the rest of his body stays still at the same time.
So he's open to being countered, and if you can avoid his little flurries, you can punch him on the end of them easy.
Yeah, that and just the fact that if you manage to crack him, he'll stay still and he'll only throw like 2-3 punches at a time, and then stay still again for another 30 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying to Cam. McDonald's got such long arms. When Warren starts moving backwards, his hands down, he's gonna get countered, isn't he?
Yeah, all wrong. Probably the exact wrong style for him to fight.
Yeah, I'd like to see it though.
Same with Tete though. Tete would just keep him at range and just pop him.
Yeah, except for Tete doesn't quite have as much volume as McDonald from what I've seen. That's the reason why I say like McDonald's probably like the worst possible style, even if I don't even necessarily think that he's the best fighter at the weight class.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean,
I hope he does get that fight because McDonald's are one of our best guys, and the more good wins he can get, the better, because he doesn't get the credit he deserves over here.
Yeah, I think he's really one of the best fighters out of the UK. You know, he's one of the rare ones. I'll give you guys props for.
You know, but he's got to be one of have the highest work rates in boxing, hasn't he? He really does.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty far
up there, man.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be up there. You know, with Santa Cruz and
yeah, absolutely.
Porky Medina and them.
And Naoto, what's your thoughts on Erickson Lubin?
Well, I mean, he took care of business against Sandoval, but I mean, I didn't think that guy was really going to be that much of a threat.
Sandoval with his grandmother earlobes.
Yeah, exactly, man. He had, well, because he puts those fucking gauges in your ear, and I just want to take an aside for a moment. That's got to be the stupidest shit for any pro boxer to do, because if you get hit in your ear, you could be winning 12-0, get hit in your fucking earlobe, and have that shit explode wide open. And be bleeding all over the place, and the ref can't stop it.
That's true.
You know, you'll get stopped after you just dominated, and and I was like, what the fuck? What is he doing? You know, that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
No,
but
Leon was right early though. Leon said the guy was terrible, and he had no snap in his punches. He looked like he just had the fight a couple hours ago, and he had no energy.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was pushing everything, and I mean Lubin. I mean, he took care of him. He got rid of him, but you know, that's pretty much what he was supposed to do. So I can't necessarily give him too much credit for that. You know, he just he did it. It's like doing your homework at the last minute right before class. You know, that's what Lubin did.
It's a nice analogy. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it as far as this past weekend. We got some good fights this weekend, though. I'm not sure if you guys touched on any of them yet.
Which ones you talking about?
Well, Thurman Porter, the Joshua card, as you guys were just, talking about, and then, I'm trying to think who else is on there. On Friday, the Fortuna versus Sosa and Jin Qishao versus Neomar Semenyo.
In China.
Over in China.
Yeah. We talked Thurman Porter. Give us your thoughts.
Thurman Porter, I think, would have a chance if he went to the body. The only thing is I don't think he could stick to a game plan like that for the full distance of the fight, however long it goes, if it's 12 or whatever. And I think that he's just going to wind up walking into too many shots with Thurman and smothering his own work and wind up either getting stopped late by, getting caught tired or lose a decision, something like 8-4, 9-3. But I mean, I think it'll be an interesting fight. Just if Porter went to Thurman's body, though, I think it'd be an incredible fight. If he could just stick to his body, it's like that's the one thing that throughout all this training camp or 2-3 training camps that Porter's had now, waiting for this fight, that he should have been focusing on.
You kind of echoed what we were saying earlier. I was saying about the body work, and most of the guys were saying that they think Porter smothers his own work, and that Thurman should be able to take him out. Do you want to give us your thoughts on this Javier Fortuna fight in China?
I think Fortuna's going to take care of business. I mean, Jason Souza gave Walters a tough fight, but I think stylistically he's going to be a lot easier for Fortuna to handle. I think Fortuna, that wild, aggressive style, he's going to love a guy like Sosa that's just a high volume fighter, and he's I think he's going to be there open for him. I think Sosa will give him some trouble maybe early. But I think once they get into the groove of things, Fortuna will probably stop him late. And then the Jun Qishao Semenyo fight is kind of an interesting one. Semenyo's a pretty classy boxer. His fights with Mijares and Moreno back in the day were really good, close fights that he pulled off a couple upsets in. But Chow is an interesting character. The thing is, he's looked good in all the fights that he's had, but this is a big step up for him. And if he passes it, then he'll be probably the biggest star at 122 pounds. He's right there with Zhou Shiming insofar as stardom over in China. He fights a lot like Canelo Alvarez, though. It's a pretty funky style that he uses. But it'll be interesting to see if he pulls it off. Because if he does, then 122 I think will start to get a little bit live again in terms of making bigger fights.
And we were kind of touching on UK pay-per-view. We've discussed Groves versus Murray, and we were on...
How much is that pay-per-view for you guys?
I'm not actually sure, Leon, because me and Leon never pay for him. About £18, Leon?
Something like that.
So, about
$19.99.
$16.95.
Well, shit, for the most incredible lineup of British fighters of all time.
I mean, let's just quickly talk about this AJ fight. My problem with it is it's the worst of the supposed 3 that he had as his shortlist. So he's ended up with the worst. Well, not really.
There was never a shortlist.
John Molina was mentioned, and Dupapas was mentioned. I mean,
John Molina was mentioned?
Not John Molina. Who's the guy who fought Wilder?
Eric
Molina.
Eric Molina. So many Molinas. I can't keep up with the Molinas.
That's racist.
It might be racist, but it's the truth. And that was supposed shortlist, but this was always going to be the case because, it's a Heyman guy. We're suffering because AJ, did the deal with the devil to get that belt, so now he's going to have to fight some Heyman guys. That's what we're getting, Cam, isn't it?
Yeah,
They bought that belt and it came at a price.
This fight doesn't interest me at all. Kimo, what's your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I thought Brazil was pretty convincing during the face-off. I think his confidence will take an effect into the fight. Wouldn't you say so?
So was Charles Martin when he was saying he walks the earth like a god.
But AJ seemed to be impressed by the way that Dominic presents himself and the way he dresses and. Oh God! What a fucking terrible 15 minutes of television that was. It's very awkward.
I don't watch that shit anymore.
Johnny Nelson.
Johnny Nelson is eight.
Johnny Nelson is
Yo, that is the most proper fucking comparison that I've heard thus far. He is AIDS.
He's the worst. He's the fucking worst, man.
Cam, I just need to shit on this fucker for a minute. Like I used to like him, but my God, man, he's just sitting there. So eager. I mean, anything that comes out of, the opponent's mouth is, oh, you calling me a fraud? Are you disrespecting him? Like, dude, just shut the fuck up and let them talk. You're trying so hard to get something going. It's really sad, man, what Johnny Nelson has become. Maybe this is a bit of brain damage that's left from his career. I don't know what it is, but it's sad.
Kimo, the producer's going in his ear. Johnny, stop it. Words aren't your strong suit. Stop it, Johnny. Stop interrupting. And he's just babbling on and on and on. He just gets verbal diarrhea, doesn't he?
I mean, the thing, it's so random. Like, you could be saying anything, and he just like, are you calling him a fraud? Like, it was nowhere even near that. Like, how can you make yourself look like an ass that much on TV? It's just, I don't know, man. They need to put somebody else in there. Didn't Adam Smith used to do a couple ones too?
I don't remember that. Maybe they could put Harling in there, Kimo.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? But I mean, dude, it can't be worse than Johnny.
No, it can't be worse. That's to be fair. At least he can actually talk.
I mean, I would propose to put Paul Smith in there because I just think that it would blend really well. He's got the fighting experience, like he's a two-time world title challenger. I mean, it would be a lot better.
But honestly, Brazil, this Brazil doesn't have a chance, does he? Really?
I think anybody's got a chance, though, Leon. If he catches...
maybe, yeah. But
he just looked really bummy. That's my problem with it. Nothing that he's ever done made me look at the guy and be like, okay, he could land a good shot. I think AJ's just going to work behind the jab, and as soon as that raw hand connects, it's just over. So
then we'll get David Price next.
I don't know about Price. He's putting on weight, man. He's looking good. Looking shape. I think he's filling out to match the suit, if you know what I mean. I think now it actually looks like a tailored suit.
That big suit.
Do you think they're going to make that fight? I mean,
I don't know. All I'm saying is they're trying to say they might not have to fight Parker until March, and that's going to be his first test fight, I think. So
I don't know. Parker is wide open. Bro.
I know, but we're just talking about.
He is just asking for it, man. He wants that AJ raw hand. He just wants that shit.
I just think he's fights away from making a fight that genuinely means anything. Really, don't you? When's he going to fight Wilder or whoever? Fury. But I mean, maybe if Klitschko beats Fury, maybe they could rush towards a Klitschko fight because he's at the end of it.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys actually, what do you think are the odds that Fury against AJ happens in the next 2 years? Because I don't see it. I don't see it happening, John. Do you see it happening?
It depends on a few things. It depends if Fury beats Vlad again, because if he doesn't, then I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, but let's just assume that he does, right?
If he does, then I think it will happen, because I know Hearn's about the money, and that's a big fight in the UK.
I hope it does, man.
I think AJ would have to... the thing is, with Fury, it's going to be difficult to deal with, because he's not going to take any of the B-side status, is he?
But he's not the B-side. He's the fucking heavyweight champion of the world.
No, according to all the tweeters, he is.
But Hearn always sees his guys as the A-side, unless he's sending them over to the States, right?
And who do you guys favor right now between Fury versus AJ?
Fury.
Lim, I want to see first how he looks against Vlad, because I don't really trust Fury at the moment.
What about the version of Fury that fought Vlad in the first fight?
Oh, I'd pick Fury, no problem. But the way he just blew up, I mean, I have doubts around his commitment to boxing. Man. Let's see. I mean, maybe he could be. Yeah, maybe he's fooling us all, and
he's done it before, isn't he? We always say this. He always gets this aimed at him, but let's see. He's a weirdo, isn't he? So you can't trust him.
He's like the heavyweight version of Ricky Hatton.
Heavyweight version of who?
Ricky Hatton.
Nah, he's way more.
I love Tyson Fury. I do, but I can't stand how irresponsible he is outside of camp, and I know that kind of adds to his demeanor and his personality. But fuck, man, you have it all right now, and you talk about making money and you being content whether you lose or not in your next fight. But just think about how much more you can capitalize on to stay in shape. And
you never know what he's talking about if it's the truth. He's impossible to.
I understand that, Leon, but just by looking at his physical shape, that in and of itself tells me that you're obviously not working to your optimal best.
They always had trouble getting into shape. I think he's got one of those flabby bodies.
No.
Oh, it has nothing to do with being flabby, though, because he's adding on to it, though. That's my point.
Dude, how many pounds has he lost? I mean, he said that in the media.
I'm not going down this fucking this road of just shitting on Fury. So I'm out.
You're right, because there's no argument to be made. It's just fucking obvious. The guy doesn't work hard enough in between caps to be at that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to even.
He's got the belts, man.
Going to be at the top. He is at that top level despite his training. So I mean, maybe he's the one that's laughing, but I'm just saying. I feel like Fury can be even that much better, because before that Klitschko fight, there were still so many doubters, and just why not just build upon what you've already accomplished, man? Just fucking clean out this division, because I think Fury is better than every single heavyweight, and the only one that gives him a contest really is AJ. That's only if he continues to develop, because Deontay, Fury should be able to outbox easily, and Parker and all these other guys are just not on his level, so. I'm just disappointed in his inability to grasp that situation that he's at right now, man. Like you can clean out that division and make this division yours, but his off season kind of activities are making me doubtful.
That's my issue with him as well, Lim. Like he talked a big game, and he accomplished a lot by beating Vlad. But what have you done since? You know, like you're just expressing nothing but negativity. You're blowing up. You're basically going through a fucking fat camp right now, losing 30 pounds in 2 months or something like that. I mean, it's just not impressive to me. And I agree with you. I think he's a very talented guy. Probably a lot more talented than we think, because he's getting away with shit that other people cannot. You know, like, I mean, he's no different than fucking Chavez Jr. when it comes to looking after his own body. You know, like, it's just bad. Probably if he had to cut weight at a lower weight class, he'd be in fucking trouble. But
let's not put those two guys in the same fucking thing. One's a bum who's lost numerous times. The other guy's...
if you look at... Yeah, like, if you look at the physique, I mentioned it.
This is fucking pointless.
But why? Why is it pointless? You think he's just gonna keep getting away with this? It's boxing, man. You're not gonna get away with this shit.
Riddick Bowe did.
He got away with it once. It's gonna come back to haunt him, dude. It's gonna come back to haunt him one day.
He's not even fighting for another 3 weeks. Let's discuss him another time.
God, you're just salty today, aren't you?
No, it's just he never gets any fucking credit. That's all. I know you said
bullshit. You're sounding like Peter Fury now, Leon. Come on, fuck off with this, man. Seriously. I have been supportive of Tyson Fury for a very long time, yeah, but if I have to fucking listen to one more goddamn interview about them, they're not supporting us and they're racist and they're this, fuck off, man. Look at the way you're conducting yourself, man. You look like a fucking
I'm not after him being supported. It's just he's an easy target for people. That's all I'm saying.
He's not. He makes it easy himself.
Yes, of course he does. But I just don't think he gets. Oh, fuck it! I don't want to have this conversation.
I don't want to listen to somebody who's a goddamn millionaire, won the heavyweight championship, and act like a fucking victim when you're saying like homophobic shit in the media. Like, fuck off, man. Come on, seriously, grow up.
All right,
these are adults we're talking about.
Let's move on, because we got a show for that, I guess, in 2 weeks. So, anyone else got anything to mention regarding the UK pay-per-view?
It's shit.
The end. All right, let's move on. There's a few pieces of news I wanted to talk about as well. Crawler versus Linares in late September in Manchester. Yes. That's a good fight.
Oh man!
Oh man! That's
Anthony Crawler.
Kimo, you have to come to Manchester for that. Come on, bro.
I kind of want it. I kind of fucking.
I'll be flying over for the Triple G Eubank fight, though.
You're welcome.
That's not going to be UK.
I could see that in the UK. Triple G travels.
That's the most recent news. They say the fight is targeted for September in the UK.
I don't think it's genuine news though, but I've looked at some other media outlets while we've been online and no one else is stating it. But to talk about what Lemon is mentioning, basically, I've seen an Instagram post linked to me by Mr. Fix of Caffeine and Hip Hop, and it's saying that fight has been finalized for September. Urbank Jr. versus Golovkin, but I don't know. I think I need to see it in a few more reputable boxing outlets.
You can't trust the Eubanks.
No.
They're mad.
But, Kimo, Crawler versus Linares, man, good fight?
I think it's an incredible fight, and I think, I was personally very surprised that they made this. We got to give props to Crawler, and yeah, man, what can you say? It's a proper fucking fight. I don't even care about the bill. I'm just happy that this type of a fight gets made. I guess my standards have just sunk a lot, but great fucking fight. I'm kind of leaning towards Crawler. I don't know why.
I gotta give Crawler props, man. Like, he won the title. Well, he fought Perez, then he fought him again. He stopped him. Then he fought at the boogeyman of the division that I got high on, and then he's going into this Linares fight, man. It's like it's a decent gauntlet, yeah. It's a decent gauntlet. That I think he knows that, where he is in his age and where he is in his career. He needs these big money fights, but a lot of guys would just fight a bum just to kind of have a homecoming. But props to him, he's not doing that. And after that, I think the winner is mandated to fight Zlatkanin.
I think Krolla could have easily, just like any other Matchroom champion, just milked that shit. And Hearn is good at selling, and he could easily sell Krolla. He's a nice guy. You can easily sell him to the public with the background story as well. He's just a good dude, like he's easy to sell. And the fact that he's doing this in his career, and it's probably his conscious choice, right? This is not being motivated from Hearn's side. This is probably him saying, I'm the fucking best. I've got the confidence. I want to do this. So, yeah, man. Props. Just nothing but props. The guy's just gone through a lot of change, man.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't he the guy that got knocked out by fucking Derry Matthew back in the day? Like,
oh yeah, it's definitely. Yeah,
it's kind of. I mean, it's a little bit weird how much of a fucking beast he's become.
What are you trying to say, man? You're trying to say he's on roids?
I'm a little bit suspect.
He's a
guy. He looks like a fucking tank today, man. These days, man. I mean, it's just incredible. But anyway, I think that's taking credit away from him. Let's not talk about that. Let's just focus on what he's doing, and he's going for it. And I think if he puts the pressure on Linares, I think he can do it.
Well,
what do you say, Leon?
I think we'll find out if his chin is, didn't get completely cracked by Derry, because I think, Linares is going to land at some point on him, because they're not defensive masterminds, are they, the Gallagher fighters?
You say that, but I'm not being funny. Corralo doesn't really get hit clean. Like,
he doesn't.
He gets marked up though, but Linares offensively is one of the best fighters in that division.
Yeah, but he's also chinny as well, so
he is. He is. I'm not saying that Crawler doesn't win, but we'll know about Crawler's chin, is what I'm saying. Because I think he'll get tested. I think it's a very good fight. It's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Feather-fisted, no? Sorry, Dan, say that again?
He's a bit feather-fisted, no?
No.
He's not a huge puncher, dude.
He can
cheap. Well, the thing is, he switches it up. He'll throw a lot of light punches before loading up on heavy ones. He'll tend to shoe shine a lot, though. Yeah.
Bigger storyline than Linares' chin, Leon, is his skin. It's the fact that he gets cut so fucking easily. So just by Krolla's volume, I haven't seen many of Krolla's fights, but I've
a lot of time going to the body.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Krolla, just go straight for that face, because that show will get marked up by the sixth round if you just keep at it.
If he's going to the body, it leaves opportunities for Linares, and he throws a lot of very good punches when he's attacking. So I mean, it's a great fight, and props to Hearn for doing it. To be fair,
props, but
I mean the belt's worthless.
I was going to say props, but I need to take the props away because like Hearn's selling it as like a.
Yeah, that's the casuals, isn't it?
Yeah, he's selling it as a unification and saying on Twitter, "Oh, it's the diamond belt, it's the super belt," but really, Zlatkan is the WBC champion.
He said it's the belt. It's the same belt that was awarded to Mayweather and to Martinez. So that's he's walking among the gods here.
With Charles Martin.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
I'd pick Crawler to beat Charles Martin.
That's how much you despise Charles Martin. Anyone else regarding Crawler Linares?
I'd just say excellent fight. I mean, not a whole lot more you could say regarding just beyond that.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. That's one of the ones I'll definitely try to catch live.
I think you're right. I think this is on Crawler because I don't think Joe wants these fights. I don't think that Gallagher would have wanted these fights. I think this is all on, this is what Crawler's decision.
After Zlatkanin, I think he'll fight
Felix Verjardio.
And who would anyone else might make a comeback if he moves up to 140?
You never know.
Costa Tszyu.
All right, let's move on. Chemo.
Oh, that could crack me up every time, man.
Chemo mentioned it last week. I'm upset with our boy Warrington, man.
It's a straight duck.
Massive duck, and then look at the dude he's fighting, man. The guy that's got starched by Gary Russell.
Selsby.
Selsby's.
Oh, that. Yeah. All right.
Well, he is getting married. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Chemo.
It's a big thing in his life.
Well, who is he fighting?
He's fighting the guy that got starched
fight.
out by Gary Russell. Highland. Patrick Highland.
He's fighting an Irish warrior, yeah?
Highland's gonna give him trouble.
But that's what I'm
calling
saying,
that shit
Chemo.
right now.
How can you use the marriage excuse when he's fighting Highland?
It's one of the worst.
Hey man, I'm
excuses I've ever heard in my
I'm
life.
Team Highland, man. Let's get one back for Amagasa or Highland. Fuck that.
He schooled that motherfucker though.
Chemo, man.
Fight.
Spill the beans, man. How do you feel about it?
How do I feel about what? It's just disappointing, man. I mean,
A duck is a duck is a duck, and this is a duck.
it is. Like I just said, it's like one of the worst fucking excuses, just to not make a fight. Like,
I think it's the worst one in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm getting married. Like, okay, so fucking what? I mean, come up with something else.
Just come out and say, I don't want the fight now. I want it down the line. Just admit it.
All jokes aside, I don't mind the marriage excuse to say you don't want to go to your wedding and your face be all marked up with shit.
But he's taking a fight. That's the problem.
That's my problem. It's like, if you don't fight, the marriage excuse is okay. But why are you fighting Patrick Highland a few weeks before your wedding then? You're telling me Highland's not going to mark you up. You're definitely going to get marked up. Even if you fight someone shit, you still get the chance of getting a little mark on your face, a little cut or a bump here and there. So
this would be the fairest thing, that he wins Warrington, so we've still got the Selby fight, but Highland smashes fuck out of his nose, so all of his wedding photos are just all like big black eyes.
You're a cruel person, Leon.
That would be karma, wouldn't it? That would be karma.
That'd be awesome.
You're bad people. You're bad people.
Have him look like Briggs after the Klitschko fight.
Yeah.
And why would he give a fuck? I mean, his wife married you for a reason. I mean, she obviously knows you're a fighter, and there's a likelihood that you're going to get marked up. So why not make it lasting image?
One of the seven deadly sins.
I'm sorry, what was that, Leon? What's the seven deadly sins?
Vanity, one of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Warrington doesn't have that on the back of his mind when he made that decision. But regardless.
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Is there anything fights have been made recently? None.
Keem?
Not really, no. Chemo, tell us your itinerary for the rest of the week. When's this appreciation night for the Boxing Voice?
That is on Friday. I heard that. Actually, I know that the media workout on Wednesday is also going to be open to the public, so I'll probably go to that as well.
You gonna do a pizza run in Ness's Mazda?
Shout out to Mazda 3.
Yeah, I'll be periscoping for the for the Boxing Coalition, man. Maybe I'll do a little interview. Yeah, man, just gonna meet a lot of people. Vic reached out as well. Probably gonna have lunch with him and the rest of the bush when they come over. Hopefully visit Kev in Long Island as well, and my man Daniel Lim. I'm gonna meet him tomorrow. I'm so excited. Feeling a bit jittery about it. A little bit of butterflies going on, but yeah, it's gonna be good, man. It's good times, good people. I'm digging it. Wish you were here, Cam. Honestly, I'm not trying to rub it in, but we'll have our other moment. I still want to come for a big fight in the UK, but obviously Selsby Warrington is not going to be one of them.
You still got Crowell and Harris.
But yeah, well, when is that? When is that fight?
End of September.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I just come out of like a 2-month holiday. Can't really afford to take more leave then. So,
bro, you got the Arrow money, man. Stop complaining.
Yeah, it's not just about money. It's about being allowed to leave from work.
Just quit, man. You're rich enough.
Quit? Nah, I gotta work for my money, man. I wish.
You got those oil reserves.
No. The only reason I would quit my current job is if Sky made an offer to me. I would take it in an instant. But unfortunately, that has not happened yet.
Yeah. Leon, African Shah in the chat said vanity isn't one of the 7 deadly sins.
Isn't it? Okay. I thought it was. What was it then?
I think it's pride.
I haven't seen 7 in a while.
Damn, I'm looking good.
Who's sparking up?
That's me, sorry.
Come on, Leon. You need to get off the cigarettes.
What are you doing, Leon? What are you doing?
It's the only way I can get through talking about AJ cards is to be extraordinarily stoned.
And also,
suffering
shout out,
with
Chris
dry
Ariola
mouth.
on.
shout out to Jon Snow and Sansa Snow of House Stark.
No, don't
what are you doing, man?
Don't do any spoilers just in case anyone's not watched it. But the 9th episode is really good. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan,
Shout out to Sansa. You know, I've been Team Sansa since day one.
I just seen her in X-Men recently, man. She was okay.
Hey, Cam, I want to ask a quick question. Are any of you guys picking Santa Cruz over Frampton?
Yes,
I am.
No.
I am.
Oh, sorry.
Easy.
I'm picking Santa Cruz. Yeah, Frampton's too small in my opinion.
Holy shit, you guys are all picking Santa Cruz.
He's going to get the midget beaten out of him.
I don't know. I'm probably picking Santa Cruz as well, but he doesn't have a better boxing brand, so I'm not quite sure. But it's an interesting fight.
I think you might stop him.
Yeah, Santa Cruz is a better version of Scott Quigg. It's going to be like Quigg in the last 4 rounds of that fight, but for all 12.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there's still a while for that fight, but no real hype, is there?
Stop unhyping fights.
Well, it's another fuck-up location-wise, right? They're putting it in New York, God knows why.
Yeah.
But it's a good fight, though. You got to give him props for going up there to take his licks. But I think he's going to have to take his licks, you know.
I think that Santa Cruz's jab is going to be a problem, man.
Like Lim mentioned earlier about Mares, he's just kind of too small for featherweight and a bit too big for super bantam. I think Frampton's in that same dilemma. I think everyone at featherweight is just massive compared to him.
I think Frampton more so though, because Mares bulked up because he was trying to win titles at a bunch of weight classes.
Yeah, that's fair.
With Frampton, I think he's just naturally, heavy. So
he's heavy set, but he's got those tiny arms, and so Santa Cruz's arms must be what?
Double the size.
Double the size.
Yeah.
He's got
the arm levers, doesn't he?
He's going to look massive next to him.
The thing is, we're getting Frampton versus Leo, but I'd rather see Selby versus Leo, or
Selby versus Frampton, which seemed like it would make more sense. All you guys with your all UK clashes and everything.
I think that's easy work for Selby again, just because of the reach. It's gonna be hard for Frampton to work on the inside and get on the inside in the first place.
Yeah. Montiel could.
Montiel's a beast though, and then got starched.
Yeah, no, Lara's a damn beast, man. I don't think I'm going to pick anybody over that guy.
Just quickly, I know Naota mentioned that Javier Fortuna fight. For people in the UK, Box Nation have picked up that China card, but it's on replay, so they're starting it at 7 p.m, so they're not showing it live.
On Saturday evening?
No, Friday evening.
Friday evening, okay, I'll watch that then.
I may be able to find it live and hit you guys with the link, so.
I'll be at work, so I don't care.
That fucking link.
Well, there you go.
Anything else you want to talk about, Chemo, you bum?
Go!
I loved Box Nation's production of the Vladimir Tyson Fury face-off.
It was so fucking
really
cheap, man. It fucking looked embarrassing.
What do you fucking expect? They've got no fucking money.
I know, but come on, Leon, they could have done better than that, bro. Come on.
I don't watch that shit anymore.
They just got a black cloth and hung it up in the background, and got another black cloth and just put it over the table, and that's it.
Honestly, Coogan's videos have a better production than this shit. Seriously, it's embarrassing, man. It's fucking embarrassing. This is the heavyweight championship of the world. You could have gone to IKEA and bought a new fucking table that would at least look decent in the studio, and that doesn't cost you that much money. You can't even afford to do that shit. It's just fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, but imagine the amount of money they've had to spend to get the big fucking lump over here.
So they cut the budget on the face-off.
Honestly, it must have cost them a fortune to go to get him over here. Fighting, hardly in front of hardly anyone. He's used to fighting in front of 50 1,000 people. There's going to be like 5,000 people at this fight.
Chemo, Vlad looked embarrassed to be sat on that set.
This front room looks better than that, doesn't it? You know, he's fucking... What is this shithole I'm in?
Yeah, I mean, Vlad's face was funny, man, at the beginning. He's just sitting there like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Vladimir just looks perturbed as a motherfucker ever since the first fight. It's hilarious.
Do you guys think he's gonna let his hands go? I have a feeling he's just gonna choke again and do nothing.
You gonna let those gifted hands go, dog?
No, I was
those
talking
strong
to
hands go, dog.
I was talking to my friend Scorsese during the week, and we both believe that he had a hand issue. He didn't throw because he doesn't seem like the type of guy that will make an excuse, and he hasn't come out with it. But I guess in like 10 years it'll come out in his autobiography that one of his fingers was broke or something. So I think he
didn't throw his left hook though too.
That's true. Yeah, but
he didn't throw shit.
It was
really that probably would have been his most effective shot, the left hook, if he would have thrown it.
Chemo, are we actually doing a chemo special for this fight?
I don't mind. We can do
Chemo
it.
doesn't do Box Nation specials.
Now the thing
I just don't like cardboard, man. That's the problem. I just don't like that fucking.
The fight before this that weekend, there's nothing on, so I don't really want to do a.
You don't like cardboard fights, but you're flying halfway across the world to go to a PBC event or whatever it's.
Yeah, but you know, but you know the reason why that is. It's kind of the reason I went to Vegas. It's more for the social aspect.
I know, but we're trying to get a chemo here, Cam.
No. I'm Team Chemo for this one.
Yeah, but at least I think this is going to be a Showtime version of it, right? So at least there's going to be Jimmy Lennon Jr. At least I hope. It's not going to be that PBC fucking production, because that's just terrible. Dude.
No,
it is, because it's on NBC, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not going to be Jimmy Lennon.
It's going to be bummy, mate. It's going to be bummy.
Are you sure? Because I think it's Showtime on CBS.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I'm not an expert on this shit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is going to have the Showtime production. It's not on the Showtime channel, but it is going to have like the setup.
Squeaky's going to be there.
Oh, for this weekend, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah. Showtime on CBS is what it is.
Okay, so at least I get
Showtime boxing on CBS.
So you get to see Jimmy Lennon in the flesh.
Yeah, and fucking Malinaji. God damn it. Oh, I don't want to see that guy's face.
You gonna call him a bum, Chemo?
Give him a slap.
Fraud.
If you guys on Twitter talk shit to me in real life, I will assault you.
He blocked me because he started tweeting about football, and I said he wasn't allowed to talk about it because he'd never been in the ring, and because he'd never played football, and he blocked me.
That means, you did a good one.
You can't talk about it, you've never done it. I hate fucking boxers who do that. Like Liam Smith, I watched this, one of the last Eiffel things I heard was Liam Smith going, these people on Twitter and who are doing, talk online, they don't know anything about fighters. They don't know this guy that I'm fighting. Yes, we do. We've looked him up. We've seen him. He was shit, and you destroyed him in a couple of rounds. We do know what we're fucking talking about, you fucking bum.
Yo, just another thing, man. I've always, taken massive amounts of shit about Andrade. I just don't like him, and dude, I made a total 180 after that fight, man. Boo Boo is the fucking real deal, man. I mean, I don't think Willie Nelson is that much of a talented fighter, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen Andrade fight like that, man. With that kind of an outfit.
I think he was playing with his food, though, like after 6 rounds.
He was, man. He was.
Yeah, he could have got him out of there. I would like to have seen him get him out of there. He did in the end, but I think he took 4 or 5 rounds off, didn't he?
He's a fucking talent.
Oh, he's very talented.
In that sense, he's kind of similar to Lomachenko.
If Lomachenko had done that and played with his food, like he has done, he gets criticised. But
no, because I never criticized Lomachenko himself. It's you fucking bums I was criticizing.
Don't get me involved. I wasn't on that show. You
were two-time world champion, innit?
I didn't fucking say that.
No, but
because we started playing some of the stupid you say in your voice notes.
Is it too crazy to say that Lomachenko is top 10 pound for pound in terms of talent?
We don't follow pound for pound, Liam. You should know that.
But now you're putting like two categories together: talent and pound for pound.
I'm just saying, talent-wise, is he a top 10 fighter? I certainly say so.
Eye test-wise, he's probably top 2, top 3, yeah.
He's a beast.
But again, eye test doesn't mean shit because I don't believe in the fact that just because you look good, you are good.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to be the case. So you don't have to go to that extreme. Say you can just say it means something. Sure, I agree with you. It doesn't mean that you're good, but it definitely plays a part. I mean, it's all subjective. But when I was hyping up Terence Crawford, I did it purely on the eye test, and I kind of think Lomachenko does even to a degree better than Crawford. So I'm high as fuck on it, man.
But you are picking Crawford against Postal, or are you picking Postal?
Yeah, I'm picking Crawford. I actually think it's going to be an easy fight. The more that I think about it.
Wow.
I think Postal's got a good chance in that fight. Big guy. He does. Big guy. Yeah, just on size alone.
It's just too basic, man.
Well, I mean, it's the size, the reach, the volume. It's everything put together. It's something that's difficult for Crawford, especially considering how slow Crawford tends to start.
This will be the biggest guy he's ever fought. I think that's a learning curve. But it's a difficult. It's a good fight. It's another really good fight.
To be fair, though, it's also Crawford's probably one of the tallest fighters that Postal's ever fought too.
Exactly. So that's what makes it a good fight, right?
Yeah, it is. But if you agree with what Nauta just said, I think Crawford just has such a clear advantage in terms of talent that if you do concede that point, that size-wise they're kind of similar, then I just go with Crawford. Pretty handed.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like size-wise in terms of their level of opposition. They're both the best fighters that either has ever fought.
But even head-to-head, though, I feel like the size, there's not that much of a discrepancy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Crawford's got pretty long arms in spite of the fact that he's shorter. So,
yeah.
I think that and his timing is what kind of equalizes that. In theory, anyway.
It's a fascinating fight, man. I'm really, really kind of excited about it. Is that shit pay-per-view for you guys?
Yep.
Dude, that's not gonna do shit, man. Yeah. How much does it cost? Like $30?
Nah, probably about 50 or 60.
Wow.
That's probably the standard.
Fuck,
that's fucking.
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Is that gonna do more than 50,000?
I would say less. What the fuck?
It doesn't have to, though. Just the payrolls are going to be so.
Yeah, that's true.
The undercard for that's going to be good, though. Specifically, the Valdez Mateus fight. That's the one that I'm looking forward to.
Right, I've got to go, you bums. I've got to get up for work in the morning.
Valdez is my guy. If Selby ever fights Valdez, Jesus, I'm going to fly over to Wales and beat Joe Morgan's ass up before that
That's fucking beat down in Cardiff.
Alright, Leon, you might as well wait and have some final thoughts before we all go.
Alright, we'll go.
Hey, Mark knows it's $40.
Still expensive, man.
Yeah.
$40.
Leon, you be the first one. Any final thoughts?
Routine win for Joshua and Willie. When will he next fight? Anyone good? A long way off.
Alright, thank you, Leon. Naota, any final thoughts?
Nah, I mean, pretty much let everything be known as much as I wanted to. Nice to see Chemo back on the panel for once.
Yep. Out of hibernation. Thank you, Naota. Dan, any final thoughts?
Nah, man, I'm good, bro.
Alright, man, have a good, safe journey tomorrow and a great time chilling with Chemo and the rest of the boys in New York. Chemo, any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? Yeah, man, I'm calling out Suleiman the Scholar. He doesn't want to show up for the TBV event. I don't know if he's listening, but dude, you better fucking show up.
Yeah, come on, Simon, you gotta be there. Bro.
No excuses.
You gotta be more patient, Chemo.
But he's a slap boxer, man. You just gotta fucking come out and just chill with the boys. I don't know why he's being so weird. Some of these fucking people, man, that always call in show, like, they don't show their faces, you know? They don't want to come out, even though they've been calling a show for years. Get your fucking shit together, man. There's no excuses.
Hey, come on. I want to meet the scholar face to face, and I want to have conversations like they did in Athens between Homer and Aristotle and Plato. That'll be like me, Chemo, and Suleiman the scholar. I want to learn from the scholarly one.
Yo, Chemo, if you do meet him, you're going to get a selfie and just post it on Twitter with no comment, or?
No, good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening, yeah. I hope so, man. But I mean, we're gonna meet a lot of cool people. So anybody that's thinking about coming down, and fucking King J as well. He said he might actually come down.
From the
How
Shy.
the fuck is he gonna come down? He lives like 2,000 miles away from New York.
Where the fuck do you think I live?
Yeah, but King J's a bum, bro.
What do you mean? Just fucking come down. You live in the same country. What's the big deal?
He's got a whack ass kid who doesn't know shit about boxing. I'm totally fucking.
Oh, he's gonna come down now with a fucking beat the shit out of you, man.
We can come down now and beat the shit out of you with that Dory toy.
I want to meet King J more than anyone, probably, except Chemo, because I've known King J for like 4 years now. So
yeah, I want to see if the homosexual is real in him, man.
Yeah.
Pretty boy gang. All right, Chemo.
Exactly.
I hope you have an excellent holiday and enjoy your stay in New York.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys again. And
I hear so much. I hear so much passive aggression in Cam's voice right now.
Yeah.
It's jealousy, man. It's jealousy. I want to be there too.
Dude, you were in fucking Vegas, man, and I missed out on that shit. Come on.
It's all good. One time we'll all meet together. Probably won't happen.
Honestly, I was jealous as fuck when you guys were out, you know, like biking shirtless with Daniel Lim, man. I got very jealous. So this is
bro. New York is as much as I love Vegas, New York is 10 times the city that Vegas is.
It is a beautiful city, man. I must say, my first day I just spent around just walking, dude. I just fucking walked through the city and I just saw a bunch of shit. I didn't even plan anything, and just taking it all in, man. It's a different level of a city, like you said, Lim. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and now you're gonna take me all in.
Right, let's end the show right now. Thank you, guys. Thanks to all the people in the chat and all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in him.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great.
Do we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want one portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him. What? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side.
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.